Oh, perfect timing. Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, everybody. Greetings and welcome. We've got some Raiders. Brumal, thank you so much for the raid. Party of 9. Ah, thank you so much, Brumal. Thanks for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in. If you don't know me by now, you've been living under a rock. Just kidding. Just kidding. Brumal, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I hope your league game was good. Did you catch a lot of dubs? Hopefully more dubs than L's. Alright, let's say our highs and our hellos. To everybody, hi Royal, hello, hello. Okay, let's say, Maple Marie. Welcome in, girl. I think you are first today. It is absolutely freezing outside. I saw that video that you made where you threw water out of the window and it just completely just turned to mist instantly. It did not make it down. So that was really awesome, Maple. Hi, Hawker. Welcome in. Hello, One Prong. Hello, Retro. Saturn. Hello, Saturn. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me make sure you guys can hear me properly. You can. Okay, good. Okay, good. We're poof. Poof. I hope everybody had a good weekend off. I missed you guys. I had a busy weekend with a lot of sorting and organizing and, you know, just kind of sorting things out, putting things away, just stuff like that. Who else is here? Winkos! Welcome in, Winkos. Big dubs, Winkos. Hi, Tummy Belly Roll, welcome in. And Royal Navy, how are you, Royal? Hello, Snickers Dad, welcome in. Okay, Becca! Oh, hello, Becca. Hi, sweetie. And Bochi with a 10 stream streak, you streaker, you. You frickin' dirty, dirty streaker. Alright, Bruma with the raid. One Prong! Big Tom, hi, hi, hello, hello. Hi, Joe Fish. Discord call-ins tonight. Exclamation Discord to join. Hopefully the link is working. It should be. And the topic tonight is best and worst jobs. You know, you've all had them. I'd love to know. Stories. Mainly horror stories, Josh, you're right. Thanks for playing that. Mainly horror stories, but I'd like to hear your best jobs too. But definitely the worst jobs kind of piqued my interest. So yeah, definitely. Hi, Real Deal. Welcome in, Real Deal. TTV Wills. Long time no see. I've been busy over Christmas with family and friends and no time difference. Don't really end up working for me. I'm doing amazing, Wills. Nice to see you. I remember you really liked the Advent Calendar unboxing streams that I do, and I feel like I am a crazy Christmas kook, okay? So next year. There's always next year. We'll see you for the Advent calendars next year. There's always next year with that. Hi, first time chatter, welcome in. Okay. Arson. Nice to see you, Arson. Alright, Liquid Malice. Hi, Liquid Malice. How are you? Long time no see as well. My punctuation was horrible. But that's okay, Wills. I got the gist of it. And it's late for you in the UK. I remember, Wills, you're in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get some music playing. But yes, we're doing Discord call-ins, Wills, and anyone listening, if I stream a little bit late for your time zone, I hate time zones, they suck, don't they? But if I am streaming late for you, if you're in Europe, whether it's the UK or somewhere else, I stream a little bit earlier on Saturday nights. I start at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights. But normally I do stream around 8:30. That just works best for me, 8:30 Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so it just works better for me that way. I've tried earlier afternoon streams, but they honestly just, they didn't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't float my boat. So welcome in, first time chatter. How are you? Not much. I just started. I just went live. All right. So exclamation Discord. Okay. To hop into the Discord, and if you would like to be on the stream tonight, if you'd like to be on the show, hop into the Twitch Stream Queue channel. You just need a microphone. Skiz! Ah, welcome in, Skiz! Flicking your bean. Surprise! Wetter than a cup of. Nice to see you too, Skiz. He was just looking at the sports channel, Gary. Skiz, welcome in. Woo! Thank you so much for playing that. And also a special shout out to Red Spectre for making that video for me. He did that all on his own. And I gave him, he ended up getting the artist badge in the channel, which is very rare. That's the rarest badge you can get in the channel. I think you can only hand out 4 of them, 3 or 4. So, shout out to Red Spectre, Skiz. Thank you for playing that. That's an Anne Streamy signature. So yeah, guys. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hi, first time chatter. Hey, Josh. So, and Drawl, hey, welcome back, Drawl. Nice to hear you or see you, and it was nice to hear you on Saturday. Texas Drawl called in on Saturday when we had our call-ins. Yeah, Red Spectre was great. So, yeah. What do I have on the menu? Oh, I don't think Saturn, you wanted to pin the shout out to Burmal, if I'm not mistaken. You probably didn't want to pin that. Yeah. So, all right. This is what we're drinking tonight. This is another Belgian beer. No worries, Saturn. No worries. I mean, he really appreciates the Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Like, there's, I'm definitely the glasses half full type of person. So, I mean, he could have pinned a troll saying rude and nasty things instead of deleting the message. He could have pinned it, right? It could have gone that way. Really, to be honest, I don't mind you pinning a shout out to Brumal. We all love him here. He's got a founder's badge. Okay. So, rude and nasty. Pin it, you fucking troll royal. You know what I've realized recently? There are different types of trolls. There are different levels of trolldom. There's some trolls that, oh, Wills, thank you so much for your sub with Prime. Let's fucking go. You got the power. Thank you so much, Wills. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for, wow, I got your Prime this month. I feel very, very special, because I know there's only 1 Prime per month. You could have given it to any gal or guy that you've seen on Twitch, but you chose me. Oh, let's go, Skiz. Oh, thank you, Skiz. Skiz always knows how to jack it up a notch. That's a talent. Where my party people. Thank you, Skiz. Oh, and we got a hype train. Yes, let's fucking go. Oh no, we got another sub with Prime. Mr. Bleach Soda. Another one? I feel like DJ Khaled here. Another one. Another one. Mr. What was it? Bleach Soda. Thank you so much for your sub with Prime this month. Wow. Gee willikers, you like me. You really like me. Hi, first time chatter, Brayden. Welcome in. Oh, Brayden, you got a new account. Welcome in, welcome in. It's you. Hi. I knew you looked familiar. That name looked familiar. So, oh, brother. Thank you, Skiz. Thanks for hyping it up a little bit in the room. Brumal, thank you for the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. That's my life. That's your price. That's your price. Well, thank you, Brumal. You know what I don't understand? Brumal! We got a freaking chicken dance. It's the best chicken dance on Twitch. Are you ready for this? Brumal, I don't know why it doesn't give me the Subway sandwich for the gifted sub. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. For the gifted sub, that's a Twitch glitch. Let's go! Brumal! Brumal! Thank you for the 10, guys, for 10 gifted. For the low, low price of 10 gifted Subarunis here on Hot and Streamy's channel, you get a chicken dance. I don't know anyone else on Twitch who does the chicken dance, to be honest. I'm bringing it back. Okay, we're bringing back an oldie but a goodie. Welcome in, first time chatter. All right. And so thank you, Brumal. That was 11 gifted. That was 11 gifted. Thank you so much. So hi, King Kamal. Welcome in. Nice. Thank you, Skiz, for getting level 6, for getting this party started, for getting it hype here on a Tuesday. So the chicken dance is timeless. It is timeless. Timeless. The mic is next level. Ooh, Skiz, do you like it? Can I feel like a proper podcaster now with this like profesh mic over here. Like I really do, and I've been utilizing it a lot. I've been doing these Discord call-in shows, and honestly, they've been so fun, and everyone seems to really, really enjoy them. So if you want to get on the show tonight, !Discord, join the Discord and pop into the Twitch stream queue. The topic is jobs. Best and worst job stories. Preferably worst. We all love to hear a good horror story, you know? Especially if it's not our own. Makes us feel better. Hi, first time chatter, Bobby, Lobby, Dolly. I'll just call you Bobby, because that's a tongue twister. Chaz with the 5. Welcome in, superstar. Thank you. Thank you for the 5. You got some mambo number 5. Hi, 22 below 0. Chaz with the 5, bringing us in to a level 7 hype train. Just like that. Let's fucking go. Guys, I'll show you the drink that I have on the menu tonight as well. Hi, Tony Soprano Games. Oh shit, Brayden, you got locked? Well, I'm glad that you found another account and that you made it work, okay? 5 head, you're resourceful like that. Hi, DS, welcome back. Love your hair. Thank you, Bobby. You like it? Shout out to the Dyson hair wrap. Hair wrap? It's fucking amazing. It works wonders. You never have a bad hair day with this shit. It's crazy. It's fucking unreal. It dries your hair and styles it at the same time. So imagine just blow drying your hair, but it like puts a style in it. So it's great. Anyways, I was just thinking of you. Aw, thank you, Chaz. Well, I hope you were thinking good thoughts. I hope everyone had a great weekend off. My weekend is Sunday, Mondays. So we're back. It's like my Monday today. And this is what we're drinking. It's a nice, strong Belgian beer. 9.2% ABV. Trappists by, I guess, Rockford. Rockford is, I think, the area that it's from. But yeah, it's a pretty strong one, a 9.2. Authentic Trappist product. I don't know. I always see Trappist. On bottles from Belgian beer. I don't exactly know what that means. Hi, all good and stream that shit. Best Beer Man. Oh, perfect timing. Long time no see, Best Beer Man. Yeah. Cheers, Best Beer Man. Do you have a beer? I know you're from Australia. And of course I have Wade's pint glass from Sons of Kent that he gifted me in an advent calendar last month. First time chatter, natural, you bet your bottom. You bet your bottom dollar. I don't know why I think that's so funny. You know why? Because I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Brother. But yeah, they are. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, John Deeds, welcome in. I can't even hear that alert. That means no swearing. Is it for 5 minutes? I think it's 5 minutes. It's either 3 minutes or 5 minutes, John. I can't remember. I think it's, we'll make it 5 for good luck, okay? Because I honestly don't remember. 1 hour? No. So, timer's set. 5 minutes starting now. That means no swearing for 5 minutes. Now, if I do read someone's swearing like in their text, that's okay. Oh, there you go. First time chatter. Pac-Man Panic. Aren't Trappist a group of monks? That would actually make perfect sense because a lot of the beers, Belgian beers, are made by monks. They have like these ancient recipes. So this is like the monks of Rockford. The monks of Rockford, I guess. The Trappist. So that's just like another word for monk, maybe. That would actually make a lot of sense. What a lovely outfit. I forgot to say thank you, Wills. Thank you. Thank you. No, Chaz. We watch movies every other Friday, and this Friday coming up is the movie night. So it'll be this Friday night for movie night. If anyone's interested, if you have a sub or a gifted sub, you're welcome to join. The after stream on Friday nights, we have cosplay Friday nights, and then we hop into Discord and we watch a movie. So I'm not sure what we're going to be watching. We kind of figure it out when we get in there. I used to take like polls, Twitch polls about what movie we were going to be watching. But then I figured out, you know what? That's not very fair to people because half of the people who are voting don't even show up to the movie night. So, oh, guys, we got a one-hit wonder here. Actually, it's not a one-hit wonder, but damn close to it. You guys remember Oppa Gundam Style by Psy? There was a dance for this. He's like riding a horse or something, right? But I don't actually remember. I've never learned how to do it. How to do that dance. I can do the Macarena. I can do the Macarena. I can do a mean chicken dance. Guys, thank you for that hype train. Let's go. So we can swear? Yes, Beer Man, you can swear. You can swear. I just can't swear for 5 minutes. And I'm halfway through. Welcome in, Catherine. Hi, Atomic. Welcome in. Nice to see you, Atomic. Alright guys, so exclamation Discord if you're interested in coming on the show, but regardless, let's try this 9.2% Trappist beer made by monks. Some ancient tradition. Monks from Belgium. Happy Tuesday. Cheers. The color's interesting. Look, oh no. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh god. What the hell is that? What the hell? Oh, that's not a bad word. It's just residue. Debris? From hops. Oh, okay. It's monk gunk. Oh! Furry lips. Worms? In the beer, I would hope the 9.2% alcohol would kill anything. Any bacteria, any worms. Okay. It's just listen, this is an expensive rare beer. Like this is a really imported beer. You know, I've never tried this one before. I'm just gonna zip it and down the hatch it goes, okay? It's normal. Yeah, that's what they that's what they all say, King Kamal. That's just normal. Cheers, cheers. Ask a beer pro. Who am I going to ask, Maple? Regardless, down the hatch it goes. It's too rare of a beer and to just throw this out. I'm not a wussy, okay? We're doing this. Hi, first time chatter. Cheers. Perfect timing. Cheers, guys. Particles are flavor. Thank you, Becca, for pinning that. You know what's weird though, everyone? I never see particles in my beer. That's like a rarity, so why are there some particles and other times there's no particles? Tell me that. Riddle me that, guys. Regardless, it tastes fine. Okay? If I close my eyes, I would not know the difference. So it tastes great. Oh, perfect timing! Yay! Okay. There you go, John Deeds. 5 minutes, no swearing, we got it done. It's scale. Like hard water? Scale? You mean the water in the monastery is not like perfect? Oh god. Like they should have cleaned out the pipes? Is that what you're insinuating here? The pipes should have been cleaned out? No scale as in brewing size. Hi, Cool Ma, welcome in. I did work at a brewing world. Oh, you did for 4 years. I would say I have some knowledge. Brumal, you are the expert we need in this situation. What is this, and is this normal? Is this okay? Does this affect the flavor at all? What is this, Brumal? I don't see this often. Ever, really. I've seen particles in my wine before. You know, like kind of grittiness in my wine, especially red wine. You know, on the very bottom of, you'll see like sediment in the red wine. But I can't say I really see this sort of white. It almost looks like calcium. Yeah, it does. It looks like calcium in a way. So cheers. Like volume. These pipes are clean. I heard monks' pipes have never been cleaned out. Yeah, so maybe a monk cleaned out their pipes and they were really backed up. Okay. So I highlighted my answer earlier. Oh, did you? Okay, let me go. And you should ask a bartender. I should. Yes, yeah. Let me scroll up. Brumal. Trappist beers tend to have pulp. Oh, you would say this is pulp. This is called pulp. All right. Okay. So, a friend of mine told me not to pour at the bottom of the Trappist beer. Oh, really? So it's like a known issue. Shrinky. Interesting. Are you joking with me, King Kamal, that the sediment adds flavor? Are you joking? Well, I feel like maybe one of these monks wasn't doing his job properly. Speaking of jobs, this might have been a bad day at the brewery. A very bad day. Speaking of bad jobs, chat, do you have any bad jobs what's the worst job that you've ever done? Okay, I have one that comes to mind. One that definitely comes to mind. Bottle conditioning. Hi, Asselhoff, welcome in. It must be good for your bones. Watch less and drink more. That's good advice, Asselhoff. I will cheers to that. Cheers. So now I have a decent one, eh? What do you mean? I've been drinking a lot of Trappist beers lately, Hawker. I don't know if this is what you call decent. Sediment in beer can occur due to plenty of reasons. Call it flakies, floaties, yeasties, or sediment. They're primarily composed of protein particles resulting from the brewing process. Oh, it's protein! Added protein! Oh, I can handle that. Thanks for the follow, Goldfinger. I can handle some added protein. Hi, Joer, we need pups! I will open the door in a little bit. By the way, guys, I already ate my dinner. My schedule has been all messed up lately, so I've been eating off stream. I was busy the last couple days, and I made some Japanese curried potatoes, and then I was going through my cupboards and like just throwing old things out that I didn't really need anymore, and like finding some scraps and just being like using them up and whatnot. So I made this like not Japanese, it's a Chinese dessert. Aqua, Dr. Jones, this is good. I made this like Chinese dessert. It's made from like red dates, longans, goji berries, and lotus seeds. And I put chestnuts in there as well. So it's like a soup. It's like a soup with like seeds and nuts and dried fruit in it. It's really tasty though, I promise. So I have that, and then I made some congee as well. Congee is basically rice porridge. And you can put different like toppings and stuff inside. So I put black fungus in mine, and then I have this like shredded like shredded candy floss pork or something. So you kind of put that on there. So, cheers. It's common in IPAs and Trappist beers. Oh, well then cheers to that. Added protein, guys. Mm-hmm. All right, we have someone waiting in the queue. Okay. I'm usually lucky to get the job. Never bad. Some better than others. So, I've been pretty lucky with jobs as well. But I had this one job where I was trying to relocate and find a job in a small town, and I was told that like it's hard to find jobs in this small town and just be happy with what you get. And so I was also trying to like possibly apply to get a mortgage. So I wanted to make sure I could secure a job, you know, just to get approved for a mortgage. Which never ended up happening. Long story, guys, but never ended up happening. But that was the whole goal. So, Pizza Hut opened in this small little town. Pizza Hut opened. It was new. They were hiring new like employees, and I walked in there just to get food, and I saw they had like a hiring sign on the window, and I was like, "Oh, you're hiring?" And just so happened I spoke to the manager. And he hired me on the spot. So I was like, okay, cool. So I started working, guys. Never worked fast food or in like, I worked at a restaurant for a brief time before that at a high-end seafood restaurant that sold live lobsters. But before that, oh, Brumal's got a little stretch down. Oh, and we got the Macarena. Oh, good timing. You as a pizza girl, Skiz, it was so bad. It was so horrible. So I can't really go far away from the mic. So, yeah. Oh. So I ended up starting the job. He had hired myself and one other girl to work the front. Like there was some like a couple tables and to cash people out and be like work at the register. All right. It was just myself and one other like white girl. Everyone else in the restaurant, like working in the back and everything, was Indian. Mind you, the manager and like he was Indian. So maybe, you know, he had a little bit of a bias, right? So anyways, I started, you know, working the front cash, and he would only schedule me for like 4 hours at a time. And yeah, so he would only schedule me for 4 hours, and a lot of the time he would even let me go before that. Like I would work like 3.5 hours or just on 4 hours before he had to give me a break, and then he would let me go. But as it started to get kind of quiet, like in the front when there was no rush going on, he would send me to the back to do things because he just didn't want me, you know, standing there doing nothing and getting paid, being on the clock. So he had me go to the back and do dishes. Like there was a dishwasher, but I had to like kind of hand like scrub a little bit because a lot with like Pizza Hut, all of the pizzas are basically shallow fried in oil. And so they're really, really greasy. So you just can't put them in the dishwasher. They kind of have to be like pre-rinsed by hand. But this guy was so cheap that he only had cold water. There was no hot water. The dishwasher had hot water connected to it, but for some reason the sink that I was using didn't have any hot water. So it was all cold water, which sucked because cold water and oil don't really mix. Yeah. So there was that. Wait, they don't use a pizza thingy? It's Pizza Hut. So they use like a dish, and it goes through a conveyor belt at like 425 degrees. And by the time it starts from the conveyor belt to exiting out this long conveyor belt, it's done cooking. So it's they don't use a pizza oven. It's like this conveyor belt situation. It's all personal pan pizzas that no paddle. No. Pizza Hut. So it's literally like a shallow fried pizza. And by the way, Atomic, I make my own miso soup. I don't make miso. I buy the miso, but I make my own miso soup. Yes, I have some miso in the fridge right now, Atomic. So anyway, what else did he get me to do? Oh, there was a tip jar. Okay. And by the way, Brayden, I see you hanging out there. Just hang tight, okay? So there was a tip jar, and it was like a huge tip jar, like probably this long, this tall situation. Looked like a big $10 bill, like a Canadian $10 bill. That's what I had on the picture. So he said that we would always split the tips. So once it gets full, we would split the tips, because a lot of the staff, a lot of the customers were trying to give the tips to myself and the other girl who were helping them, right? Because we were ringing them out, seating them or whatever, putting them at their tables, cleaning up the tables. Like, that's basically all we did. So they would always try to hand us the money, but we would say no, like, it goes in the tip jar here. So there was that as well. What else? Oh, I never had a break, because he would always let me go before it was break time. Legally, before 4 hours, you're entitled, I think, to a 15-minute break. There was no place to have a break anyways in that place. So there was no tables or chairs or anything. You couldn't really sit outside, like in the dining area with the customers. So yeah, he was, I've never seen someone like be so cheap before when it comes to business, especially since it just opened. Maybe that's why he was being so frugal, because it just opened. Collective tipping, yes, collective tipping. So yeah, like every time, like sometimes I would come in, his wife worked there as well, and they would sit down on the floor and eat their lunch and stuff, literally on the floor in the back, like on the dirty floor, like of a restaurant, like of the back of a restaurant. So it was not very hygienic. So I'm kind of glad that they let me go. Oh, nice, Brumal. What song would you like to request? Not a lot of people request that stuff. So Brumal, what song? There you go. Oh, it's a YouTube song. Oh shit. Let me see if I can get it on Spotify. Let me look it up on Spotify. Yes, I think it's here. It should be at Brumal. There we go. This must be it. This is it? Okay, good. Alright. So, Deja Vu, thank you for the follow, Deja Vu. And Harold Godwin, thank you for the follow as well. And Monkey? Yeah, alright guys. So, what else? So sometimes when I was just standing in the front, okay? Sometimes I would just be standing in the front, and he would be like, oh, you go do something like in the back. He would tell me to go do something in the back. He couldn't stand me just like standing and doing nothing. So I feel like you followed me before. Jesters. Yeah, that's deja vu, that feeling that it has happened before. Welcome in, first time chatter. So yeah, long story short, okay? Long story short about this job from hell. The tip jar, as it started to get fuller and fuller and fuller, I started trying to just like, every time I would come in, I would see if it was still full and when it would be emptied, because like it didn't get emptied and it was a couple months already. And then one day I came in and it was empty and nobody said anything to me. Usually when you're counting tips and collecting tips, you'll do that in front of all of the staff, right? So it should be done with people present watching, but it was empty and no one said anything to me. And then so I went through my entire shift just waiting to see if they would say anything to me. And they didn't. High treason! Couple of months? Yes. And at the end of the night, he's like, okay, you can go. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. One thing. What happened? Did you empty out the tip jar? And he was kind of a little bit shook. Skiz, I'm feeling okay today. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, Skiz? I'm a little bit cold. It's freezing temperatures here, Skiz. Very cold. There is a severe cold warning out, but other than that, I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. So, yeah, so anyways, I confronted him. I asked him, did you empty out the tip jar? And he was like, yeah. I said, oh, how much was in it? You're supposed to do that with everybody present and watching. And he was like, oh, it was probably like $15 per person. But there was no way that it was a huge tip jar with like $5, $10 bills in it and toonies and loonies, and there's no way it would just be $15 per person. So yeah, basically he stole the tip money. And I know that nobody else would have complained because everyone, except for myself and the other white girl in the front, they were all university students, international university students who were working there for cash under the table. So they wouldn't have complained at all. So, yeah, he stole the tip money, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, I can't work for someone that steals and that I don't trust. If there's no mutual trust, it's not going to happen. So, I ended up walking out like after my shift was done, and I never came back. Yeah, that's the bare minimum, is trust. You know, I mean, ideally I would like to work like who I work for. I would love to like my coworkers because I think a happy working environment is crucial. But I mean, that's not a prerequisite, okay? But definitely I'm not going to work for someone who steals from me. And there's no trust there. Walking out rules. Well, I didn't really walk out. It was end of my shift, Wrinkly, but I caused a big stink at the end of my shift. Okay? At the end of my shift, I confronted him. And that's when I did cause a big stink. Hi, DCG, welcome in. Same, trust gone, I'm out of there. Exactly. So he stole the tips, so you killed his camel? Damn, man. Don't mess with a girl's tip money, okay? It's not even the tip, it's the principle. It was the principle behind it. I don't know how much tip money was there. Definitely more than $15, but it was the principle of the matter. Okay? That's honestly what it was. And then he had the audacity after to message me and ask me to bring back my Pizza Hut hat. I had a Pizza Hut baseball cap, and I think he wanted the t-shirt as well. So that was the uniform. It was a t-shirt and a baseball hat, and he asked for it back. Which is just... That's how cheap this guy was. Cheers. No, I got minimum wage Atomic. Because this was like fast food. He also had me working the fryers, which I hated. I hated all of that stuff because I was really hired just to work the front. But, hi Gertie, welcome in. Nice to see you, Gertie. Nice to see you. I was jamming out earlier. And yeah, it was a good time. I was getting ready for stream. I heard some Toni Braxton, and boy howdy, I went down a trip down memory lane when I heard Toni Braxton. I would report him to Pizza Hut headquarters. Yeah, I really should, Joe Fish, because he really was, well, hiring people to work illegally and paying them cash under the table. So those people are definitely not getting minimum wage. He could have gotten a lot of trouble, but I'm really not that type of person, Joe Fish. You know what I mean? Like, you do me dirty, I'm out. But I'm not really going to, like, unless someone was getting like seriously physically abused, like kept in a cage, and like, you know what I mean, like serious like issues. No, these were international students who they knew what they were doing. They shouldn't have been working in the country. They set it up themselves to work for probably like $5 an hour under the table. So sounds like a goofy Pizza Hut manager. Yeah, sorry that happened to you. Thanks for sharing that story. At least you can laugh at it now. Yes. Well, I'm very cold as well. Glad you're feeling all right. Thank you, Skiz. Thank you. Yeah. How are you feeling? Cold season is going around, but no, I'm good. I'm good. I went out today. I went to the post office, and it's freezing, guys. It's like -20 temperature here, Celsius in Canada, so it's super cold. There's an extreme cold weather warning happening. And then I went to the dollar store and got some stuff as well at the dollar store. So yeah, it took me longer to warm my car than it did to actually drive to the store. So it was one of those days where it was very cold outside. But yeah, so that was my horror story. I've never worked fast food, and I never want to again, but that guy was a real terrible person. I did not call him and report him to the... I should have done it. I could have reported him to the labor board, because there was definitely... all of those people were not on the books. But that's not me. But you do me dirty, and I'm not going to stick around and take it. I'm out of there. But I'm not the type of person to like... There's some people that are like, call the cops, and they love to call the city, and they love to call the cops, and if their Tim Hortons coffee was not the way that they liked it, they'll call Tim Hortons and complain. I'm not a complainer like that. No, I'm not, Wrinkly. I'm not a narc, and I'm not a complainer like that. How I am, I just won't go back. If I don't like the service, I won't complain. I won't say anything. You will just lose me. Like, I will be out of there. I will be gone. There's no... in a way, I should really complain, though, Gertie. It's good feedback for them. But I don't. I don't like the confrontation. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to waste my time. I would just rather try it. Say, okay, this is what you're up to. This is the service you're providing. I either like it or I don't. So, and that's just how I am. I know, Wrinkly, what's the temperature in Nebraska? It's a cold front going on right now. Am I getting stuff mailed to me to my P.O. box? My P.O. box is my personal P.O. box, Chaz. So I don't really get people to mail anything to my P.O. box, because that's my actual real P.O. box. Like, I don't have it for streaming purposes. I live in a town that has a P.O. box. But if you want to get me anything, I have the Throne wish list up, and there's a cool feature on Throne. You can pick gifts that are not on my wish list. I don't know, they're called like a suggested gift or something like that. And you can get me a surprise suggested gift off of Throne. So if there's something that really piques your interest that isn't on my wish list, you can always get it for me. And Throne is really cool that way. I'm not exactly sure how it's done, but it has been done before, so I know it's possible. So, yeah. Anyways. I'd narc if someone takes my tips. Yeah. Hi, Super Jimmy. Alright. It was a franchise, so complaining to corporate wouldn't do much, really. Get another box. You think, Asselhoff, I need to get another P.O. box? You know what? I had a P.O. box at my old place in Toronto. I had a P.O. box, and honestly, I think only 2 people sent me. I had it for 3 months, I believe. Only 2 people sent me things. So really, I didn't get that much stuff for it. Like, I don't know if it was worth it to get the P.O. box, really. But guys, regardless, I have the Throne wish list. So that's a pretty good thing if you want to get Throne. Or just tips, bits, subs, all of that stuff is great too, guys. That all goes to me. If you want to get, like, tips are probably the fastest way to get anything to me. The money is instantly wired to me. So there's always that if you're looking to send me something. But yeah, your town has one P.O. box for everybody? No, but I have my own. It's my private P.O. box, Atomic. So I don't really want to give out my private P.O. box to everybody, to the world. Does that make sense? And then I could get another P.O. box, but I don't know. Then I would have 2 P.O. boxes. it becomes a lot, you know? So you can always surprise me, Chaz. Yes, Throne has that option. Swede, welcome in, Swede. Nice to see you. I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday, Swede. All right, guys, let's bring on our guests. We have a couple people backstage. All right. Let's turn this music down just a little bit first. By the way, Brumal, thank you for requesting a song. I hope you liked it. Brumal, I feel like a little DJ here. All right. Let's bring on Brayden, and then we're going to bring on Joefish after Brayden. Okay. Greetings and welcome, Brayden.
But I had that echo game. He's watching you and.
Okay, just mute the stream then.
That I was doing, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I was just doing that. That's why I'm like, what the? Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So.
I got look at my old accounts. I tried go back in and I couldn't. So whatever.
Oh, okay, no worries, Brayden. I'm glad you're here with us now. Welcome in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Brayden.
Yeah.
I'd love to know your best or your worst jobs that you've ever done.
Okay, I worked. I worked at Safeway before.
Okay.
And
is that that's like a grocery store and a like a pharmacy, like it's like a Walmart or something, right?
I think the pharmacy's in there and groceries, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any was it good or bad or ugly or what?
No, it was good. It was just far from my house. It was the west side. I live on the north side, so it was on the west side. Yeah. Of the city, so
So what was the worst job that you've ever worked before, Brayden?
Like actually like a paid job or
no, it doesn't have to be paid.
Oh, it had to be okay. I think I like all my job work experience that I had, like all the jobs. Not the worst job, but no. I like all of them. And I worked for experience stuff, but yeah.
Okay, so you've never had a bad job?
No.
Okay.
No. But I did actually as good jobs, like the only good jobs, not bad jobs, you know.
What was the best job you've ever worked then? The one that you liked the most?
Safeway.
Oh, okay. So you like Safeway. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. But then I was like an anxiety kind of thing, so then like I was really I liked working there. Just that I had to, find something close to home. So then I just quit and just told them my dog was doing anymore, and they said that's fine, no worries.
Oh, so you worked at Tim's after Safeway because it was closer?
No. I said I'm finding a job that's closer. Sorry.
Oh, so you're looking for a job now?
Yeah.
That's closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm going to a place to look for a job like on my laptop and stuff.
Right.
Like in the morning, I'm gonna get up around 8 o'clock, shower, and then go to the bus and just head off to that place.
Yeah. Okay, well, Brayden, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for telling us about your favorite and your least favorite jobs that you've ever worked.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, and also I had to work overtime once because the person called in, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm not doing that, right? So I was supposed to work from 10 to 4 one day, and then the person called in, and then they told me to work. You can get extra time, you get a half-hour lunch break. Sure, why not? I'll do an overtime stuff. So.
Okay. Well, that's great that you were reliable enough to work overtime. They could count on you, and they called you to work overtime. So that's awesome. Because
I was there already. So, but
right.
Me to the customer service desk, and then you're asking
right. Crash. Same. Probably one of the best jobs I've ever worked was being a Twitch streamer. That's one of my.
Oh, sorry.
So, Brayden, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate the call.
So the Twitch stream, I started streaming yesterday and today, but I'm just still getting used to it. I never did before, so.
Yeah, you got to get used to it.
That I
Okay.
play music. I play music and just jam out, just do myself, own thing, and then people join. That's up to them, right? So.
All right. Okay.
Oh, and anyways, I'm into hockey right now, and all those playing. So,
Okay,
anyways, I'll be
wonderful.
in the
I
chat.
hope you enjoy
I'll
the
be,
hockey game, Brayden.
yeah, no,
Go
yeah, no,
Oilers, go.
yeah, I'll be in the chat, by the way. So we're good. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll see you in the chat then. Take care,
Yeah.
Brayden.
You too.
Bye. All right, that was Brayden. Crash, one of the best jobs I've ever worked was being a Twitch streamer. This is like a great job, to be honest. It's a lot of work to be a entrepreneur, but it's a labor of love. I really do enjoy what I do. So it really doesn't feel like work. So I do love it. And then, hi Rush, welcome in. I imagine working with the public is wild. What do you mean public exactly, Rush? Like what sector? What public sector are we talking about? Don't fix that when it's my favorite curl. Okay. All right, Gertie, deal. Also, guys, I think I mentioned it before. I have an acting background. And so I have been on, and I'm not going to dox myself and like show you guys some of my commercials and stuff like that. But yeah, so working on set, doing TV series and movies and commercials, there's an energy when you're working on set that is the best feeling. Just the vibes are like everyone is, as long as everyone is on schedule, everyone's in a good mood, everyone's happy. Or at least they try to be, or pretend to be. But the energy is amazing on set, and you're definitely taken care of. You're fed very well with craft services, so they make sure they cater the food for you. And did I miss something? I'm not sure, Crash. What did you miss? I'm not sure. And Brayden, I wish your mom gets better soon. Sending her well wishes, Brayden. Craft Dinner? No, they just call it craft services, but that's like the company that basically feeds everybody, like snacks and stuff. Usually it's catered food at lunch. Catered food for lunch, but then the snacks in between for like your 15-minute breaks and things like that are catered by like this little trailer that they make little wraps or little breakfast sandwiches and just tasty little things. And there's like you can go into that trailer at any time and get a snack with like tea, coffee. Like it's like there's a little snack trailer at all times, so you're never hungry. Hi Vaughn, welcome in. Thank you. So the meat men, burritos. All right. Like a less Canadian John Candy. Or less drugged Chris Farley. Cheers, guys. Cheers. R.I.P. R.I.P. I love rating craft services. From time to time, and many of the lunches were yummy. Loved the poached salmon they served. Yeah, they have good food on the set for sure. And everyone's in a good mood. There's a lot of waiting on set. So there's a lot of waiting, and when you're called up, you've got to be ready. But there's just a buzz in the air, and there's a great energy when you're on set. Everyone, because people prepare for a long time for those few short days, right? And depending on how long you're on set, and if you're underage, you have to be in school, because if they remove you from school too young, they have to have a tutor on set. So you'd have to go to school and do your work, and all of that stuff. So I did a TV series one time. I wasn't like a star or anything. I was just, they called it continuity in the classroom. So like, when you're watching a TV series and you see the same people in the background all the time, like the same school kids, maybe the same person at the person's locker, like, the people next to the locker that are always the same, right? Those people. I was not the lead. No, I was continuity in the classroom. But that meant I was basically on the set for the whole season. And a portion of that time I was still like underage. I was in high school. So myself and the leads, like all of the stars, they had to take tutoring. So they had a teacher that came, and they really just had like this fold up table. There was no classroom. There was just a fold up table, and they just had it in like the warehouse where they were shooting, and you just had to like dedicate some hours to school. As Michael Caine said, once an actor is paid to wait. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of waiting around on the set. Hurry up and wait is the catchphrase. Hurry up and wait. So I was on a commercial for, believe it or not, it was Kraft, like macaroni and cheese. And so that commercial was on the Degrassi High set. I did not see any of the Degrassi cast, though. I didn't see Drake or anything. Hi, first time chatter, welcome in. So, yeah. Considered writing a memoir, Anne? You know what, Atomic? Now that you think about it, yes, I have considered that. I have a lot of experiences. Yeah, interesting ones. Wade, welcome in. Nice to see you. I really should. Gertie, trust me, I really should. It's been a long day, but I hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone has a great day. Wade, I hope you're staying warm. I know it's freezing out there. One love, Wade. I have this lovely glass, and this is a 9.2% Trappist Belgian beer. And it has some debris floating in the bottom of it. Okay, it's kind of all settled to the bottom now, but it's got floaties in there. But I'm still drinking it anyways. So, cheers. Slick Knight, you know where Sons of Kent is? No way. Yeah, Sons of Kent, it's a great company. So, cheers, Slick Knight, first time chatter. I had their advent calendar, and this was a glass that was in their advent calendar this past December. So I really, really liked it. The beer that I'm drinking right now it's a Belgian Trappist, 9.2% ABV, extra strong beer. Is it unfiltered? Possibly. It doesn't say, Swede. There's not a lot of information on the bottle. 330 milliliter, 9.2% ABV. The address, it's Rockford, Belgium. Authentic Trappist. Now, I would think it might be unfiltered, and the reason being is it does have this sort of cloudy consistency to it. Kind of cloudy. Possibly unfiltered. Hi, H-Bear, welcome in. Cheers. All right. Did some background acting in New Orleans. Years back, exciting gig. Yeah, I've done a few commercials. I did a US national commercial for Foot Locker, but a lot of the commercials that I've done were up here in Canada. My first commercial was for KFC. I did a Mad Canada commercial, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. That one played, that was a PSA, a public service announcement. So that one played for many, many years. Unfortunately, PSAs do not get royalties or residuals. So even though they played it for so many years, I didn't actually get paid when they played it. I just got my check. They cut me a check when I made the commercial, but they didn't pay me for residuals, unfortunately. You're drinking tequila, Joe Fish? Oh, perfect. I'm going to be bringing you on momentarily, so get ready. Have a sip of liquid courage, Joe Fish. Floaters might be yeast, possibly Swede. They looked kind of like almost like calcium scale, like lime scale or calcium buildup. That's what they looked like. I got a white gummy bear rain. A white gummy bear rain, is that a type of drink? Cheers, Becca. All right. What kicks were you wearing in the Foot Locker commercial? I don't remember. I wasn't really wearing any, so I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the premise of the Foot Locker commercial. It was cute. So the premise of that commercial was, this was back when I was in high school. I had braces on, and they hired a guy that had braces as well. And we were in, those photo booths in the mall where you put in a few dollars and it, takes 4 photos of you, and it's pretty instant. After a couple minutes of waiting, it will print out, the photos. So it was a commercial where we were at the mall having a date in the photo booth, taking pictures, and the Foot Locker rep, this crazy high energy Foot Locker rep, opened up the curtain as we were taking photos and was telling us about the buy one get one half off sale and to come to Foot Locker, and completely interrupted us. And so half of our photos were we were shocked and surprised. And then by the end of the photos, because it printed them out at the end so you could see the photos pop out at the very end, the end of the photos, he actually came in and posed with us in the booth. I still have those photos, actually. I'll find the photos. I got to keep them as a memento. So yeah, and we both had braces. Yes, myself and my male friend had braces. Both of us. We were brace faces. So yeah, I'll look for those. Yeah. Is it on the internet? I don't know, Shy. Not sure. But yeah, that was the US National commercial that I was in. So I was just a girl in the mall taking photos with my boyfriend, and this crazy, erratic Foot Locker rep popped into the booth. Yeah, and then I have another commercial I've done, the KFC one. I've done a few. I've done quite a lot. But the first one I ever did was for this product called Chicken Cheddars, which are basically chicken nuggets filled with cheddar cheese, liquid cheddar cheese. And I was just supposed to be a girl talking on the phone. And I completely got that job because I was ad-libbing. My ad-libbing was on point. So I was just making up everything under the sun, pretending to talk to my bestie on the phone. So I did, yeah, JTAL, I had to eat them about 20 times. But so that's another thing when you're doing a commercial and you have to bite into food. They had a hand model come in, so I guess there was a cut scene where a hand model goes in to grab the chicken cheddars. So they actually had a hand model for that. But there was a scene where I had to bite in with my bestie, and we were eating the chicken nuggets. We had to just bite and then chew and then spit in a garbage pail, because we had to do that take probably 20 or 30 times. So we didn't actually eat those nuggets, we just spit them out. All the behind the scenes stuff. They didn't really want me to eat it. I could have eaten it. It was edible. It was really the chicken nuggets with the cheddar cheese. But keep in mind, they didn't want us to get sick, and we had lunch already. You're well fed on set. You are not hungry whatsoever. So we had just come from lunch, where we had buffet, catered food, and so we were not hungry at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, I spit them. I spit those nuggies out. They wanted me to, actually. So anyways, those are a couple of stories of the set. Hi, Daniel Wong, welcome in. Yeah, Thai guy, welcome in. Yes, but for chicken nuggets with cheddar cheese infused? Yeah, you're probably right, Thai. You're probably right. Somebody needs to bring back chicken cheddar nuggets. They didn't even play that commercial in Ontario. That was a trial product that they were running in, I think it was West Coast, BC and Alberta. So I didn't even actually get to see that commercial on television, which kind of sucked, because it's the best when you see your own commercial on TV, right? Anyways, guys, without further ado, we have a guest waiting in the wings. Okay, he will tell us about his best or worst jobs, or both. I would love to hear all of everything. Just got rug pulled on Trump coin. No good. What happened? You mean Bitcoin? Did Bitcoin just crash, Modi? I don't know what you mean. Welcome in, Modi. Are you calling it Trump coin because Bitcoin went up when Trump went in office? Oh, Trump started his own Bitcoin. Did he really? Oh, I honestly have not been paying attention, Modi. Meme coins. Oh no! Really? I didn't even know. I would not invest seriously in a meme. I'm all in on Ancoin. Oh, thanks, Ty. We're a monarchy now. Oh my god. Trump started a coin. Did he really? I'm not surprised. Okay. So what happened? Just let's say it what it is and we'll end it. What happened? You got the rug pulled. What did it crash? I don't understand. Explain. Hawk to a girl started a coin. That reminds me. What about what were those pictures that everyone used to be like send money for? Hi, Morning Fox. We are an oligarchy now. That you are. That you are. Hot and to the moon. NFTs. Yeah, NFTs. That makes as much sense to me as an NFT does, to be honest. Okay, guys? So. Alright. Well, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I don't give a rat's ass. Okay? Frankly, I don't give a shit, Sherlock. Ah, man. Wise men say a fool and his coin are easily separated. Confucius say, Atomic. Oh, man. Alright. Onwards, my dear. Onwards and upwards, Schweetie Pies. More attitude, the better. Damn. To be a passive-aggressive gal on the internet. Yeah, there's only a couple things that can really do that to me, and politics is one of them. Especially if we're talking politics that has nothing to do with my... Well, it has something to do with me, frankly, it does. That I cannot deny. It does have something to do with me, but it's not even my country. Hi, Minty. Welcome in, girl. Happy Tuesday. Nice to see you. Perfect. To you, love Biden. Well, I don't love Biden, no. I'm going to be honest with you guys, my American peeps. My besties in the South. Okay? I'm going to be dead ass with you. Can we be frank? Can I be fucking honest here? Yes, I can. It's my channel. Okay? Gonna be honest with you guys. 333 million people in the US of A. What happened? What happened? 333 million and all you had was Trump and fucking two dingle hoppers? That's it? Come on. And that's all I'm gonna say about that situation, guys. You know, you had so many people to choose from, and those were the two dingle hoppers? Seriously. Okay? Man. That's all. That's all I gotta say about that. I tried Kamala. Didn't work either. Both of them. They tried. Yeah, Biden. They went to Kamala from Biden. Even that. I wasn't thoroughly impressed with Kamala either, to be honest with you guys. Either one, I was not impressed. Kamala. I was not impressed with either one. Trudeau is not a winner as well, Texas. No, he's not. Hopefully, Um, hopefully, you will do better with the next one. But he is leaving early, which I kind of dig that. Kind of dig that. He's leaving on his own accord early. You know, if you know you're not well received, you know, get out of the kitchen. Hi, Snazzy. Welcome in, girl. Nice to see you, Snaz. So, yeah. So I like that Trudeau is getting out. Sadly, only 16% of the people like Trudeau now. That was the number. 16%. That's like one of the lowest Liberal numbers in history. So he took the subtle hint, and he's dipping out. All right, but enough about politics, guys. It's Tuesday night. Let's have some fun. Okay, let's talk about the worst jobs and the best jobs that you've ever done. All right. So, oh, he definitely needed to go. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, without further ado, let's bring in Jorbs. Let's bring in Joe Fish. Greetings and welcome, Joe.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for calling in, Joe.
Of course.
So, did I see your Instagram correctly? Did you just get back from a New Year's trip to Europe?
I did. It was very fun. I spent 2 weeks. I went back for 2 weeks. Mostly in Germany, but I traveled around a little bit. If you want to hear about that, I can kind of give an abbreviated timeline.
Not right now. Not right now. I'm just...
I figured.
Yeah. But yes, I did see it, that's what I'm saying, and I'm glad and I'm very happy that you had a lovely New Year's trip to Europe, and I hope you had a great time. And Happy New Year to you. So, Joe, we are talking about jobs though. Best or worst? Tell me, we want to hear it. Spill the tea.
All right. Okay. So I could do both. I've had plenty of jobs in my life. I mean, honestly, I haven't worked that many jobs. I'm more just like, I get in a job and I kind of stay there too long, and then I get like, man, I should really like move on with my life, and then I do. So that has kind of like been my job history. Let me try to think. I'm trying to think of like the worst example of the worst job, and then the best example of the best job, just to like give a balance. Okay, I could do. Do you want to hear best or worst? What is the?
Ooh, chat.
Which one's
chat. One's in chat if you want to hear worst. Two's in chat if you want to hear best. Let's see what
I'll
they
tell
say.
Both, but yeah, okay. Whichever one is first.
So we want to hear worst first, please.
Worst first.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then best after.
Yeah, then we'll do best after. Cool. So my worst job that I ever worked, and it wasn't bad all the time, but I did work retail for Target for like, I think like 3.5, 4 years, something like that. And not that it was bad all the time. It was more so there was just like some times and like some bosses that I just kind of didn't get along with, or like they were just like bad bosses, like it was just like annoying shit like that. But I do remember there was like one. So like I used to work at like the grocery section of a Target.
Okay.
So it was basically just a grocery store, or it had like kind of a grocery store, like fresh food vibe. That like we would have to like replenish ourselves, and because the store wasn't like originally a grocery store, like all the coolers were on like the opposite side of the store, so we'd have to like in the back, so we'd have to like run to the back side of the store to get like food to bring over to the opposite corner of the store in order to like have groceries. It was a pain in the butt, but
I see.
Whatever. I did it for a couple years. The holidays were always like the worst, but it just is what it is. It's retail. Like, people are annoying. There was one time I just like randomly found like poop in one of the aisles, and they were just like I don't know. I just called like the person in charge, and they were like, "What?" It's like someone pooped in the aisle. Like, I'm not touching this. Is above my pay grade. Get the janitor to it. Like stuff like that would happen.
Like
just,
a
like, random
like
things
a
like that.
full on log.
Like it wasn't gigantic by any means. Like
Okay.
it could have been like a baby or a dog, but it was definitely poop, and it was definitely in the middle of the aisle. I was just like, yeah, not my job. Someone
Okay.
else's job.
I was trying to figure out, did somebody just like, you know, have a little accident, you know, didn't mean for that to happen, or did someone just say,
well,
out
only
it
like
comes?
I would assume so, only because it was so early in the morning. Like this was like the first half an hour that we were open, and I was just like, man, this person just ran in and pooped in the aisle. Like they couldn't go to the front of the store where you have like tons of bathrooms that are just open. So
Mhm.
yeah, I was assuming, yeah, either a dog or an accident. I did not smell it. It was not my job to clean it up. I saw
Mhm.
poop in the aisle. I called it in, and then I went about my day.
All in a good day's
see.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
Gundam,
but
hi, welcome in.
but the worst, like the worst time that I ever had there, because like there'd be like when you work for like the grocery department, you have to get there like extra early to like basically the delivery comes in around like somewhere between like 5 and 7 a.m. And so we'd be scheduled at like 6 a.m. to make sure that we got everything done for like the store to be open in the morning. And we had like a full cleaning list for like sanitary standards and all that kind of jazz. And so there was one point where like we would get milk from like most things we like order ourselves, but we would get milk from a vendor. And the vendor would come in once every week or two, like check on how much we have in stock and whatnot. And then she would kind of order for the next week accordingly. And she'd be like monitoring it all the time. And there was one time where like she like had told us, it's like, hey, I'm not going to be around for the next week. I'm going on vacation. This is my boss's number. Just have him do the order. Like he should just be following mine from the last week, but whatever. And so like we get the order from the boss and it's like not even enough for like half a day. Like he ordered like so little. And so like all the people are freaking out. It's like, what are we going to do without milk? And it's like, can we get it from another store? It's like, no, because the guy did the order for all the stores in the area and he ordered like nothing. And so like eventually we got a hold of like her, and then she got a hold of the boss, and she like basically figured it out and got us like milk the next day. That was like just a big drama. But like while we didn't have milk for 2 days, which like I don't know, you can go to any other grocery store and get milk. Like it's not like that big of a deal, but whatever. Like it's a big deal when it's, I don't know, one of like the big drivers of your store and you don't have any, apparently.
So is that really the case? Thank you for the follow, Ask Clam. Is that really the case? I've heard milk is it's called like a loss leader. Because I've never worked in a grocery store, but I have known people that like one of my old coworkers used to, and he told me all about it one quiet day at work. And so loss leaders, meaning I guess milk is like subsidized by the government and whatnot. At least it is here in Canada. And so like what it brings people in is to get milk a lot of the time. You know, people run out of milk, eggs, bread, the necessities. So they come in to get milk, and then while they're in the grocery store, they end up finding other things that they want to buy, like, you know, detergent, cookies. They pass by that bakery, they pass by the deli section, they get a roast chicken, what have you. And that's why so the milk is what brings people in, but actually grocery stores don't make any money on milk.
Yeah,
they actually lose money on milk, but it brings customers in. And then I guess with the subsidies, the subsidies will help cover the that's why they call it a loss leader. Is that kind of how it goes?
Yes, not like at least like in our stores and grocery stores around here. Because like I'm not an expert, so I don't know exactly, but like most of the stuff is like vendor stock. So what that ends up meaning is that like we aren't really responsible for it until it's sold, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
just like displaying it, yeah.
Because of the way it's like who like has the kind of like the way it like works, at least for us, was that like they would order it and send it to us on their own trucks, like individually, and like we would put it out in the store for them. But it was something that was like it was still owned by them technically. So like we wouldn't make money at all on it until it was actually sold. So
Even
like
with
we
the
weren't
perishable
really
goods, like
buying
were you keeping things in
no,
the
not
store?
everything else was like it was just a couple things like milk and like I think it's like sodas are like that too in the US and like chips. Like the big companies that you see that like usually like when they're stocking it and they have their own company, like bread is another one that's like that, where it's like the store doesn't really own it. It's like kind of floated in the store, and then like we both make money when you sell that thing, basically.
I see.
Yeah, but back to this dumb milk story. So I was just annoyed because it was like, okay, so we went like 2 days without milk, and that was like a huge fucking thing. And like all the like higher up bosses who like make actual salaries were like in there like talking all big about the milk coming in that day. And it's like, oh Joe, make sure that when the milk comes in, you like let us know so we can have everyone stock it. And it's like that's going to save like maybe 5 minutes of time, but all right, whatever makes you guys feel better. Like at the end of the day, you know. So anyway.
That's for morale. That's like for morale. Everyone can. They know there's a problem, so they all team building to fix it. Like let's all pitch in and fix.
Yeah, as if that kind of like stuff actually helps. And it's like it doesn't really help. It more like gets in the way. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like too many cooks in the kitchen, sort of thing. Like
right.
It'd be way more efficient with like half the amount of people, but whatever. So anyway, we ended up having a just the whole team is there to like stock the milk. And like one of the bosses, like not the boss for like my department, but the boss for like I think she was like the boss for like clothing and like the women's apparel section or something. And like so she was like I think she was more just like the impromptu leader of like the day. Like they all have to like have like certain hours where there's an actual higher up who's like considered the top, you know?
Okay.
And she like so I bring out like we finally get the milk delivery in. I'm like pushing one of the giant like these carts weigh like probably 300 pounds, and I'm like pushing it through the store that's already like not packed with people, but it's already like starting to get busy. Like there's already people in the store, so it's like kind of annoying, a little bit difficult. But so it's like me and one other person is also helping me like push the stuff out. And so we get there and we're about to start, and she starts complaining about like the cleanliness of the shelves. And I just like blow the fuck up at her. It's just like, you want to clean the shelves now? Like this is your priority now? Like
you're here like stressing out trying to get things done. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, this is the priority now, huh? Like you have like all the time in the world to do this. You could have brought this up like 2 days ago when we didn't have milk on the shelves. And like now you want to complain about it. Okay. And I was just getting like really heated. Like I literally had to walk away before I like got like really mad. But it's just like, all right. But yeah, it was just like stuff like that would like tick me off all the time. Just like that. Like there was that, and then there was one other time that she was also like boss during this time where they did like they would have someone from corporate do like an inspection of like, oh, do you guys have the right chemicals and whatnot? Like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And so I already knew we didn't have this one chemical, and I've been complaining for like a month or so. Like I would say it like every time, like my boss knew it, my boss's boss knew it, the head of the team knew it. Like I definitely did not say nothing. And so when this corporate person came in, and it's like, oh, why is this like chemical not here? Like what's going on? And she was like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And then I was right there, and I'm like, oh no, I brought that up today and last week and for the last month. So I would just like kind of roasted her about it. It's just like, not my fault you guys don't want to do anything about it. I mean, I'm doing everything I can. I don't have anyone to contact. It's on you.
Right.
But yeah, but just stuff like that was just like, it would kind of like slip under the cracks, and it was not for the fault of anyone actually working the job. It was the fault of anyone who was like supposed to be managing, really.
Right.
So yeah, they kind of got wrung out for that. Like they were like, we could shut your entire like store down for this. I was like, I know, you could. It wouldn't be sweat off my back. I get paid by the hour. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely by far the worst job. Only because it was like stressful and like what was I doing it for? For like someone else to make money and for like corporate bigwigs to make money, and I just
True.
get, like wrung dry.
Working for the man, all of your
Exactly.
energy, 100%.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome in first time chatter Flex. And retail jobs are the worst in general. I agree. Hi, Rick Bulow, welcome
Yeah.
in.
Like
Yeah.
I honestly wish I would have worked like some kind of like service job. Like I feel like just a actual like waiter job would have been at least like you get paid better at least, you know?
Hmm.
Like as stressful and as high maintenance as it is, at least you get tips. Hopefully.
Right.
But yeah. Okay. That was worst job. Best job.
I mean,
So
in
I did
hindsight,
do-
though,
sorry. Yeah.
Joe Fish, in hindsight, that's not a pretty bad job. Like,
No, there's definitely worse jobs. That's just
Yeah.
my worst job.
right.
Like,
So I do feel
I
like you've
remember,
been
like-
blessed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, definitely. No.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't like it's not like I didn't have days where it was like I was up at like I don't know, we had to be in the store for like Black Friday, so we'd have to be in the store from like 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. and stuff like that. Or I used to be the one that was like in charge of turkeys for the entire like store. So I would be like in the back in like a minus 10-degree freezer sorting out 20-pound turkeys for people and whatnot and like make sure we had certain things.
Mm.
But yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like the more stressful than it needed to be for what I was doing. And also like I know that I had it easy compared to other people's jobs. Like definitely people have had worse jobs.
Mhm.
Like I want to say my other worst job ever was I used to do like pat downs at football stadiums before games. Oh my god.
Really? Oh, that's
That
actually
guy.
interesting, Joe Fish.
Yeah.
Hi, it's
Yeah.
Chewy. Welcome in. Steve, I worked at a Subway and people always ask me how long was the 6-inch.
Did you tell them 5.5?
Round up, okay?
Mhm.
No, this is interesting. So you worked
Yeah, sure.
at you said it was a football
yeah,
stadium?
So when I was living in Seattle, I was swimming, like I was on the team, and this is actually like a pretty common thing for any like college athletic association that isn't like a D1 school that gets paid a lot. But basically, it's like usually most teams have some kind of like travel fee or like some kind of like training schedule where they go away for like a week in the middle of the season to like just train and just do things. That's like away from campus. So it like costs a bit extra. So there was this company that would do basically they would do like security for events that were going on in the like greater Seattle area. And I forget the name, but I know they're probably still in Seattle. I see them like
Doesn't
whenever I
matter.
see like concert footage.
Doesn't
But
matter.
yeah, but they do basically it's like it's considered volunteer work, but basically you're just an underpaid laborer to do like you're just an underpaid college kid that does like pat downs and like you're like the security at like venues basically. So you do like the pat downs, you do like bag checks. There was one time I was like in the stands, like in the nosebleeds, and you would call up if you saw like a fight break out, basically. But yeah, but like
Okay,
if
so
you're-
Joe,
if
what I
you're
want to
lucky-
ask you,
Yes, go
is
ahead,
like,
sorry.
what are the weirdest things? Like, you probably had to check people's purses and all of their like clear their pockets and
Oh,
stuff.
I never.
What's the
yeah, I
weirdest
never got
things that
anything.
you never saw anything
I
weird?
wish- I never saw anything that weird. Like, and I was pretty like stringent about things, but people were already pretty like they're coming to a game. Most people have been to the games before. They know what the rules are, and it's not like they don't have alcohol in the game. And like most of them were tailgating for 2 hours beforehand, so they're all like drunk and sweaty coming in. So there was never like some people were like a little bit belligerent, and it was definitely gross. Like I never left. Like I would always be sick the next day because it was just like I don't know 20,000 people that you'd have to like go through and literally touch every single person.
Okay,
It's
how
just
many
like, yeah, of
boners
course
did
I
you
gotta go.
touch? That was a question. That was a real question that somebody asked earlier.
I do not remember any boners. I don't remember any boners. They had very strict like back the hand, like just
Oh.
make sure there's nothing like that you feel. on
Did
that
you
person's-
wait? Like, were you not allowed to search women Was there rules with that? Like you could only search guys?
Yeah, it was guys would do guys, women would do women. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
But yes, I did not feel any boners. Fortunately or unfortunately, yeah. There was one lady that like she had brought her lunch in, and there was like a no food rule, and then she like kind of puppy dog eyed me, and then everyone else in line behind her was all kind of looking at me. I was just like, whatever.
if you would, and you let it in. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I just
good.
let it happen. It was like a turkey sandwich. It was so like innocently small, and like it's like, you know what? If this is
You
your
were the
only
turkey
food, 'cause I
king
know,
at their last job, right? Like, how could you say no to a
Yeah,
turkey
exactly.
sandwich?
Exactly. Well, it could have been ham. I don't know. It was a small sandwich, but it was just like a small like cold cut sandwich. Like, what am
Innocent
I, a monster?
enough.
Like, I'm going to make her buy a $20 hot dog or let her have her sandwich. Like,
Atomic wants to know
let
which
her have her
stadium this was. Atomic is in Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah, it
He's
was
in
the Seattle Stadium. It was back in, I don't know. I don't think they built I think it was Lumen. I don't think they built a new one. This was back in like 2010, 2011. But yeah, I did like a couple Washington State games there. I did a couple Seattle games, like Seahawks games. Yeah.
After the Kingdom.
But yeah. The Kingdom, 13th man. Let's go Seahawks. Yeah. But yeah, so that was an interesting job, definitely. Like, I don't know.
I just feel like I would have seen something very interesting. Like, I'm just that type of person where, well, I'm weird. I put some weird things in my purse. I'm sure some people have been like, what the hell is in this girl's purse? Like, what is this girl carrying? Because I have all kinds of things in my purse. And
just
so...
a gun.
Well, no, not again. Well, so that's another thing too, safety concern, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the whole thing why you're checking those.
So yeah,
too. It wasn't like
yeah, okay. But like, did you ever get like briefed on what to look for or like how to tell if somebody is carrying?
No,
I don't know.
Not at all.
Nothing.
No, they wouldn't give. No, I mean we literally would work like 12-hour days and we got paid like $50. So like they didn't give us anything, and we'd have to buy our own food. It was so bad. Like, after I did it for my first year and my second year, I was like, I do not care what the fee is to go on these trips. I will pay it out of pocket. I do not want to do that bullshit ever again. Like, it was just such a, like, not even the ways that, like, it felt, like, very, like, incorrect in my mind. Like, we're in a stadium that is, like, jam full and we can't get paid more than $50. Okay. Like,
that does kind of hurt the soul.
Yeah.
Because you know how much money is being spent on that particular day. And they can't even be generous with the staff to help herd in the cattle, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Like,
it's like
herding the cattle, and also just like pay us like a normal wage. Like, if I would have gotten paid minimum wage, I probably would have kept doing it. But like, it was like half of minimum wage. Like, not even.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they're just paying you like a flat rate $50 for the night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I didn't know that
because it was considered volunteering. It wasn't considered like
work.
Yeah,
you mentioned that in the beginning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, best jobs, Joe.
Okay, so best job by far is just like whenever I actually do photography work, like actual like work. It's so much fun. Like, I have so much fun doing it. I did the best event I did was I did the like Long Beach Grand Prix like as a like I had a media pass as a photographer. Like, I came in, like they got me I got a seat at like the media day, like the day before, where they kind of do like a press junket of like everything that's going to happen. Like, they introduce like all the drivers and everything. Like, I was literally like sitting at a table with like people that have like driven F1 and like other like famous drivers, and I'm sitting at a table with them.
When was this? Like, lunch. When was this, Joe?
This was last spring, so it was like middle. I want to say it was April of last year.
So you had like a media like tag on, and you were allowed to like
straight up media badge.
That's wow.
Hike around with my camera. I like had the cool like little vest with like my numbers on them to specifically identify me, so that if I did something bad, they can kick me out and know my number.
Fancy schmancy.
Like, I'm sure I was like probably on TV a couple times, like taking the photos, like doing the things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, but it was still like so much fun. Like I had
But
so
you
much
gotta
fun. By
act the
third
part.
day-
You gotta act the part when you're there. You gotta pretend like you know what you're doing, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I'm hiking around with like a giant camera and like a bag full of gear, and like it looks like I know what I'm doing. Like it didn't look like amateurish by any means.
Hello,
Like I would
first
see
time
people
chatter.
with like
Go
I
on.
would see people with like cameras like behind the fence, and I would literally just be standing in front of them, be like, bummer for you, I'm in front of the fence. Like I don't have no fence in my way.
Yeah, or Gertie
that
stands
was
in front of the F1 car and starts posing in front of the car, taking pictures.
Yeah,
Like a
No, I mean,
typical.
I could have done that. Like there were some people who were like more of like social media people that were like there doing like they had like the giant selfie sticks with like the video cameras at the end, and they were like doing like vlog footage on their own sort of thing, and like they would be out on track with the cars and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I was more like the standard photographer, big camera in the background. I wasn't like vlogging myself. But yeah, by far the most fun. Like yeah, I don't know. The last day, like I barely made it in like at all because I was just so exhausted. Like I had like walked like a total of probably like 15 miles in 2 days in like the sun out on like the asphalt. Like it was probably like 110 degrees on track sort of thing. Like, but yeah, it was still great. I just remember being so like grimy and sweaty after like 3 days.
Joe, what's your
It is
favorite
still
team in
so
F1? It's Ferrari, isn't it?
Yes, my favorite team is Ferrari. My favorite driver is also Leclerc, so that's like double Ferrari. But I do like all of like the drivers. I did go to I know I've said this to you, but in case anyone in chat wants to know, I did go to Spa this last year, the F1 race in Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps. Very fun, very cool.
Nice. I know I had you on an E-date and you told me all about it. It was interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a very good trip,
Mhm.
very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, by far the best job.
Because you are passionate about it. Gertie hit the nail on the head earlier. You're passionate about photography, and so
Yeah, photography,
doesn't-
motorsports.
doesn't feel like work
Formula
when you.
E,
Yeah.
I don't like. Honestly, it's like kind of weird and gimmicky. It feels like they're racing go-karts in Formula E, and they have all those weird things where it's like they get like random boosts for like being like the most voted driver at one point, and like I don't know. It's like it's too like video game-esque in my mind versus like the Formula One cars. Because Formula E's also like the cars are standardized, aren't they? Like it's a spec series, so everyone drives the same car. Versus like Formula One, there's every car is like its own engine and its own like aero is developed by the team, and it's much more like down to like
Customized.
the engineers and stuff.
Mhm.
Versus the Formula E stuff is more down to yes, how good the drivers are, but also like just how much money the teams have, sort of thing. Yeah, DRS is a little different though. DRS is being within a second at certain points, and then you get to open that rear wing. And like it's not even like a guarantee that you'll get the pass done with DRS is the other thing. It's like you might if you have the faster car and you have better pace, but it isn't like guaranteed. Where in Formula E they'll have just like you hit this checkpoint at this random corner and then you get like more horsepower for like for the next lap. And it's just like, well, yeah, of course you're going to pass him. Like, unless you're a really bad driver, you're going to pass the other guy. So I don't know. That's just my feeling on it, though. Like, I'm sure it will at some point get better. Like, I do like watching Formula 2 and Formula 3, and like what's it called? The like women's all F1 Academy. That one's also like entertaining. Like those are fine, and like IndyCar's good, and it's more or less a spec series. Yeah, I don't know, but Formula E just feels like, and also the drivers like I feel like aren't that good in Formula E as well. Like, who was the one? There was a driver who came in from Formula E, like he had just won the Formula E championship. They put him in Formula One, and then they got rid of him after like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 races because he was doing so bad. Like he was like by far the worst on the grid. Yeah.
So basically, Saturn, he doesn't like Formula E. So take
Yeah,
that.
I don't like Formula E. I've
Okay,
heard the events are very good, but I just don't like. It's just not my thing.
Okay, doesn't like Formula E. Cocoa Chips, long time no see. I see you changed your name to Golden Dog. Welcome in, Golden Dog. Long time no see. I do remember you from Oh my, it was probably a year ago now. Welcome in, good to see you. Glad you remembered the community. Glad to have you back, Golden Dog. All right, Bobby got a gifty? Nice, Bobby. All right. Joe, any questions for Joe before he goes? We do have one more person waiting in the queue. So any questions for Joe before he goes?
Yeah.
Or
any questions? I can give a rundown of all my jobs, and if you guys have any questions about it, you could just like ask really fast. But I did work. I was a lifeguard at like a very high-end country club. I did do swim lessons like at a different place.
Did you ever have to save anyone?
No, I did throw someone a buoy because they were like kind of struggling, but it was like it would be too embarrassing for me to save them. Like they were like feet, like I could reach out with a pool noodle and grab them if I really needed to. Like it was just like, come on, like yeah.
Grab my hand! Don't let go, Rose!
Exactly.
Don't
like,
let go!
Yeah, exactly. Like it was, they were in an arm's length at the edge of the pool. Like I'm not going to save you. You're not jumping in for that. You could figure
not
it out.
Getting
like, you
wet
know where
for
the
that?
shallow end is. Yeah, you know where the shallow. Like you came from the shallow end. You could just go back. Like obviously you have it within your own power. Like struggling a little bit is not like drowning.
Flailing? Were their arms like flailing? Were they panicking? Or
I mean, no, they weren't panicking. They were just not good at swimming. Like no one had ever taught them how to swim or like float. Which is like I do like understand that's kind of a skill that you don't get if you like don't grow up near a pool. And this was like a child too. This kid was probably like 8 or 9. But it was like I would have like shattered this kid's ego if I jumped in from like 3 feet away to like save them.
right.
Yeah.
Good evening, Angel.
Other...
But you know what? I learned how to. You know, when I took swimming lessons as a kid, they teach you how to float first. At least with this, like you're blowing bubbles. First of all, you start with the blowing bubbles situation, and then you end up floating. And floating is a great skill because if you ever get tired in the water, just float. Just float,
exactly.
baby. You can float for hours.
All you gotta do, just float a little bit. You know, easy peasy. Like no big deal.
Yeah.
Like it's just like such a like simple thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like. And then like that's life saving for like yourself, right? Like all you gotta do is know how to float, and now you're just like never like now you unless there's like a huge wave, you're not going to drown. Good job.
Right.
Yeah, like the fact that that's like not. It's like it kind of freaks me out how many people like don't know how to swim. Like that kind of like is crazy in my mind. But I understand where it comes from. Like I get it. But, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Gertie, you learn how to blow bubbles first, and then they teach you how to float on your back.
Yep.
Like before even colors, it was like guppy, pollywog, minnow. Like they called them like little fish, tadpole, guppy, minnow, pollywog, something like that. And then it started to get into like the colors. Ooh. But yeah,
actually, okay. I do have a swimming story though, because I was
okay. I want to hear it.
And this was from my like when I was getting taught how to swim. I had like an instructor who she was like a D1 swimmer. Like her whole family, like they had their own pool and they used to do like lessons for the community sort of thing. And that's where like I learned to swim.
Okay.
But at like one point I had like gotten to the point where I was just like I was like a pretty fast swimmer for my age, and so she would be like I was basically being like coached on like technique and other things that like because she was like a D1 swimmer, she had like obviously she had like knowledge about these things, right? Like she was like very knowledgeable, very good, very skilled. So she was teaching me at one point of how like, oh, you like shouldn't have to look at the wall to like do the turn, to like do a flip turn. So that's like, but if you ever watch the Olympics and they're doing freestyle, they turn at the end and they do like a little front flip and they push off. But she was saying like, oh, you're like lifting your head up to look at the wall before you like do the flip. Like you shouldn't be doing that. I was like, okay. And then she like proceeds to show me herself doing it with her eyes closed. And like on the first one, she does it just fine. And she just wants to show it again a second time. And then she ends up slamming her ankle into the like corner of the pool where the wall is. It was just like such a traumatic thing. And I was like, oh my God. Like she didn't break anything or like sprain anything. But I mean, she went like full force. Like she didn't have to. I feel like she was like trying to prove the point, but like you shouldn't like, be injuring yourself in front of the kid, you know. But yeah, that was like a traumatic experience, and like I didn't lift my head anymore. But I mean, I would still like, I'm not going to do it with my eyes closed. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just
So-
showing off clearly, and karma got
Exactly,
her. That
yeah.
was instant karma, my
Yeah.
friend.
That was a little bit of ego. Like I didn't want to. Obviously, I
100%.
didn't say anything, but like look back at it now, it's like wow, it's too big for your britches there, huh?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Becca.
so-
Yeah. Well, Joe, thank you so much for calling in and telling us some of
Yeah.
your best and your worst job stories. It's been a
Mhm,
pleasure. And hopefully
course,
some
thanks
of
for
the
having
other
me.
Discord call-ins that we have in the future will tickle your fancy and you'll want to call in with some stories in the near future.
Yes. Of course. Thank you for the hosting. Thank you for being so nice, chat. Goodbye. Have a
Anytime,
good rest of
anytime.
your
We'll
night.
see you in chat, Joe. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that was Joe Fish. We have another guest that has been waiting in the wings. Someone's keeping him company, but I'm bringing him up now. So, let's see who it is. I'm excited. I feel like there's a little bromance going on. I hate to break up the party. Okay, I hate to break up the party, but it's your time to shine. Here we go. Greetings and welcome in.
Hello, Anne.
Hi, who is this? Thank you for calling.
In Twitch chat, I have the Twitch name Autist instead of Autism, but I go by either name.
Oh, hi, Autist. Thank you so much for calling in.
You can also just call me Josh if you're more comfortable with it.
Well, I will try to remember, but I usually just try to go by Twitch names just because it's...
Yeah, that's fine. So it's just because my name, some people can find offensive, so I like to give the option.
Oh, okay, no worries. So...
Oh, and this is
dog
Shelly,
there?
by the way.
Oh, Shelly!
This is Shelly.
Hi,
She's
Shelly.
in a
No
little
one
sweater
else...
right now. She's not actually a bumblebee.
No one else can see it, chat. I'm being spoiled here with some eye candy
Oh,
of
yeah.
Shelly. It's a little Yorkie?
Yes, she's a little 9-year-old dorky.
Aw, Shelly,
Mm-hmm.
the Yorkie. Okay, awesome. Autist, thank you for calling in, and we would love to know.
Yeah, thanks
Let's
for having
start.
me.
Yeah, anytime. Let's start with your worst job that you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was planning to start with because that's easily the one to pick. The good job, it's kind of a question of like the job or like the environment of the job. The worst job, bar none, Walmart. Hate Walmart. Never working in Walmart again. Worked for Walmart on Black Friday and was ironically the easiest part of it because like you had the most help and the most preparation for it.
Really?
Most of the time, you just had whoever showed up. And you were often managed by somebody from an entire different department who was just upset that they had to not be where they're supposed to be in the first place. So yeah, I only worked for them as like temp work around the holidays and stuff like that. Like I said, around Black Friday and the like. And I don't know if they invited me back because I didn't check because I couldn't do it. There were some days I drove there and I sat in the parking lot like in uniform, like, still having minutes to clock in. All I had to do was go in. I just couldn't do it. And I just went home. I was like, no, there's no way. I can't, not today.
Wow.
It was like it was a more physically demanding role. It was like a stalker position, moving the pallets around and stuff like that. Unloading the trucks in the back, which I had done like similar-ish work before, like not professionally, but like I had a couple that was a friend of my mother's. They would like buy out storage units and sell out everything individually, and I was one of the people they would hire to like sell things, categorize them, and then because I was tech savvy, put it on eBay and the like. So I was kind of used to that, but it was just the fact that everybody hated you and themselves and being there and stuff like that. And I remember one like distinct moment that like really cemented it as like the worst. And I was like at the shelves stocking like tomato cans or whatever I was doing. And out of nowhere, like again, a manager from a different department just comes by and like grabs the box I was using, starts very quickly stocking the shelves, like folds up the box and like walks away. And that's it. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what kind of point he was making. This is like my second week, and he's probably been doing this for years. But it really, like, how am I supposed to emotionally go through the rest of that day? That was like 2 hours into my shift.
That was not nice of him at all. So not only did you have a monotonous, labor-intensive job, but the staff you were working with seems to be not nice at all. It seems like a lot of people hated their job, Autist.
It was like, yeah, you were getting revenge taken out on you that like was from before you started working there kind of thing,
Yeah. Were you scheduled for your shift during the time that the hours were open, or was this like after hours? Like, were you working with people?
This was like pre-COVID. This was a long time ago. So this was when 24-hour Walmart was a thing.
Oh.
So it was their third shift. So it was like 10 p.m. to like 6 a.m., something of that nature. So mostly overnight.
Mm-hmm. But there were
but it
still
was also
people.
temp work, so it wasn't always. It was pretty irregularly the same that shift. Although that was you like had one that you were supposed to be preferred to. But for me, I worked both of the later shifts and then one morning shift like once or twice.
Wrinkly says, in my culture, that's an invitation for taking it out back. If that manager did that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Black Friday was like an entirely separately scheduled day. Like it was like a 6 to 12 thing or something like that. So it was, and I don't know if that was just because I was a temporary worker or if that's how it is for all of them, but everybody was lining up at the same time clock. So I assume there were some similarities.
Interesting. Okay, so any injuries or anything during Black Friday that you've ever seen?
No, actually, like I said, not only was Black Friday like the easiest because there was the most help, we didn't really have much of a turnout. It was like a very online year for Black Fridays across the country, as far as I found out. Like we had a long line going through like the entire like clothing section where they took away all like the freestanding hangers and stuff. And the quarter of the long like winding line they made up never got filled up. Very, very empty, very dead, very standing around like, it's kind of funny.
When do we get a White Friday?
There was like
BS.
a Black Friday. There was still the stampede of sorts at the beginning, where a whole bunch of people were waiting at the door, but they all just kind of casually walked to the pallets with the like exclusive electronics, got their limit of 1 or 2 or whatever they were getting, and walked to the front. And once they were gone, it was just a quiet day.
So Retro, you worked in the warehouse, but so this was not with the public, not in the storefront, but in the actual Walmart warehouse. He says it was really hard work. I bet.
Where they don't have to keep you not disheveled enough to like distress the customers. Yeah, for sure. I bet they work you harder. In the back, if you were like a dedicated truck unloader, it was a lot different back there.
Gertie says, I love working at Crate and Barrel during the holidays, wrapping glassware for days. I loved it. I was super fast, made it a game. Ooh, I love those wrappers. People who like can wrap presents, in the like guest services at the mall. Those like professional wrappers. They did such a great job. Yeah. So, 6 strings. Someone said that before. You're the second person to ever say that it looked like Jen from The Office. So, yeah. Okay, so that was your worst job.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, so this may skew what people think is the worst job, but my best job, there's 2 different ones, right? So like the actual like function and nature of the job is kind of boring. I worked at the county courthouse for about 4 years as like a traffic ticket cashier. So like if you needed to pay by cash or like a paper check that you didn't want to mail in or whatever, most often it was people coming in needing like extra time. So like we just did a payment plan, an extra $25 get you an extra 3 months kind of thing. So your license doesn't get suspended in the meantime. But like I said, I only worked that job.
Wait, you have to pay extra for an extension?
In the county I work for, yeah.
Interesting.
Which
okay.
I think is pretty standard because you have to generate paperwork and log the extra time with the Department of Motor Vehicles so their license doesn't get suspended because it's an otherwise automatic thing.
I see. I've never had to deal with any of that, so I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. A big part of that too is that was the job I worked during the COVID era, and so nobody was driving during lockdown, but we were still essential workers. So for the most part, you had about half as many people. You had half the people in the office and half the people at home doing.
Hang tight, Autist. Hang tight. We can't hear you right now. Just 1 second. We have a raid from Medicine Women Trish. Welcome in, raiders. Trish, thank you for the raid. Hey, in the moonlight, like I'm a domino. Welcome in, Trish. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. Gertie with the 20. Thank you, Gertie. Hopefully some of the raiders just got a gifted sub. That is the thought behind it. So hopefully you got a gifted sub and it's ad-free viewing. Or maybe some of the viewers that were just watching me and didn't have a sub. Hopefully you got one. Let's go! Thank you, Gertie, for the 20. Trish, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for trusting your community with me. How was your stream today? What did you get up to, guys? If you're not already following Trish, the Medicine Woman, she is named the Medicine Woman for good reason. She is an herbalist and I love her stream setup. She has a bunch of bottles sitting behind her with different types of medicine. Just chatting. Wait, is that the right shout out for her? Is that the right link? Let me see. No, I don't know if that's the right link. Let's try a different one. It didn't work. Let's try a different one. I think you put a... There we go. That's the right one. Thank you, Unprong. So go drop her a follow. She's a wonderful person from Australia. All right. From down under. And I met her through Dossie, actually. So that's how I met Medicine Woman Trish, through a friend of a friend. And I follow her on Instagram. I love her daily posts on Instagram. She is gorgeous as well, Gertie. Beautiful. Beautiful woman. And so thank you so much, Trish, for the raid, and welcome in, raiders. My name is Anne. We're doing Discord call-ins today. The topic, your best or your worst job. Mainly, we like to hear about worst jobs, but I mean, best jobs are good too. But you know how we are, creatures that like to hear weird and wacky things. So, exclamation Discord, thank you, One Prong. And if you would like to come on the show and you have a microphone, you can jump into the Twitch stream queue and hang out there, and I will drag you into the show. So once again, Trish, thank you so much for the raid. I really, really appreciate that. I hope your stream went well. And thank you for trusting the community with me. So yes, Sparky, welcome in, Sparky. All right. If you have to go, Trish, I completely understand. I know you're probably tired from the stream. I know how it goes. And we will talk later. You're in good hands. Yes, you are. Thank you, Gertie. Thank you. Thanks for the follow, Simone. All right. Sorry, Autist.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. Where were we?
Yeah, for the Raiders, I was just talking about my worst job, which was just being a stalker at Walmart during the holiday times, even though the holidays weren't the worst part. Now we're talking about the better jobs, which I was just talking about my time working at the courthouse as like a cashier for your traffic tickets and other, even criminal costs and stuff too. It was all paid at the same windows. So you dealt with a lot of colorful characters on a very frequent basis. Like it was a very different time in my life because I live mostly solitary and don't leave the house most days. But when that job on the non-COVID days, you would easily sometimes see 100 different people a day. Sometimes repeat customers if they're on like a payment plan where they have to come back on a regular basis. Like if, for example, you give them more than the standard 3 months kind of thing.
Right.
And that was my favorite part of that job, was being able to work with them, like set up those things, be like, okay, well, what do you make? What could you like realistically afford? Kind of thing. So you can staying on the road, because being able to drive to work is super important in pretty much everybody's life. It's kind of hard to avoid nowadays.
Right.
So that was the great
Especially
part of the
depending where you live. If like you're in Metro Toronto City somewhere, you might be able to get away with public transit, but depending, where you were located, maybe like, for example, in Canada, a lot of the time you need a car. It's a huge country. It's really spaced out. So
absolutely. In my area specifically is very suburban. So there can easily be, 2-3 layers of neighborhoods around your neighborhood before you can get to a store and anywhere you could work, kind of thing. So absolutely, it was a big deal.
Right. Oh.
But the job I worked the most, and my most favorite job for like the actual work, even if like, the benefits and the management and stuff for the work, was I was actually a caregiver at a retirement home. The real title was medication technician at an assisted living facility. The way I like to put it, though, is just pill boy at a retirement home.
Pill
since
boy!
I worked the night shift.
And you worked the night shift, okay. So you
I
had to
did,
wake
yes, I
people
was
up
actually-
and give them their medication.
My shift was pretty much right after everyone went to bed, just before midnight, and then went right into pretty much the start of breakfast time. So that gave it a very interesting schedule. There was a little bit of work at the beginning, pretty much letting the last shift go home because they were all antsy to leave, kind of thing. And then, the few things that may be scheduled for midnight. For the most part, it's a whole lot of just like walking around the building, making sure there's nothing unusual, nothing sounding, smelling, or anything like that looking unusual kind of thing. They have, all the residents have pendants that they can press that activate beepers. That'll tell you, the room they're in, and even to some degree, like where they are. It just tells you like all the sensors they're at, and if it's not like by the room, you can figure they're not there, kind of thing. But you deal with a lot of crazy emergencies, a lot of really regular.
So what?
really
Tell us some of the craziest things you've encountered. By the way, one of my mods also works in an assisted living facility as
does
well. Yes, he does. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
interesting.
so for those of you that don't know about the work, you as a medication technician, you get a med cart, which is kind of like a little mobile pharmacy you take to the person's room, and I actually did it in two different points in time. Once when it was still in like paper and books, and you were initialing everything, and then once when it got digitized on computers, most recently. So that was a very interesting difference in like stuff like that. But it's a very long, very process. You have to verify their identity and stuff every day. And it's probably also worth mentioning there was also a memory care unit on the facility too. So about a fifth to a quarter of the residents, we're behind a locked gate that you need a code to get through, kind of thing. So you do need everybody that's there needs all that kind of training for understanding those kind of symptoms and stuff like that. So very really interesting stuff. But some of the crazy things that you see are mostly in the mostly independent living, the people that are mostly there to get free, get their food and laundry done for them, but don't need like actual like day-to-day care, like incontinence care or assisting with meals or mobility care or anything like that. I probably one of the craziest things is there was a 93-year-old man we had living there that I would always expect. It was one of my jobs to expect him back from his shift at security work. He worked for
worked security at 93.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he worked. He was like because of like the nature of a pharmacy or whatever, they needed an armed security guard, but he didn't have to be like he just didn't have to chase anybody.
Armed at 93, he was packing
at 93. Yeah.
What state was
this? At the
facility?
This is Florida, so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, that will explain a lot of things. Probably, why retirement work is so prevalent here. If you can do retirement work in Florida, you'll never go hungry because there's so many retirement homes and nursing homes.
Right. I can't believe the guy was 93 and packing and working a security job at a pharmacy.
It's because you couldn't tell. He easily looked 73, which I mean, to people that don't work with seniors. They probably, there's a degree of age blindness to, once people get like past like extreme retirement age, they all kind of seem the same. But
True.
Some of the most active residents are the ones that actually live the longest. I've taken care of even centenarians, I think they're called.
Yeah.
People that have lived 100, and it's the ones that it's not the ones that are like bedbound. It's the ones that go and want to walk 3 times a day.
That's
because,
true.
Quote, they need to build up an appetite for their meals.
Yeah. They stay active.
That kind of 100-year wisdom that. And
smart.
So,
I should really take a freaking whatever out of their book. Page out of their book. Get walking, guys. Build up an appetite for your meals, okay? Don't just eat because it's dinner time and it's like you're scheduled to do so. Build up an appetite. And yeah, that's smart. Okay, so but Story, you expected the guy back, okay? 93, working a security job at a pharmacy, carrying a gun. You expected him back from his shift, and what happened?
He leaves the gun at the pharmacy because he can't bring it on the property.
Okay.
But he drives his own car and stuff like that. So basically, all we really know, the usual process is he pulls into the parking lot, he goes into his room, he calls the facility and says, "Hello, this is so and so in room such and such. I've returned home from work for the night. Have a good night, etc., etc." And that wasn't a crazy story. That was just a crazy story that happened around the facility. A crazy story that happened in that building that he lived in, though, was the one fire I had to deal with, which I mean, it wasn't funny because yes, some people's health were at stake. Nobody got injured in any way. Everybody reacted quickly, and that wasn't a very like many of those rooms were empty in the first place. So there was only
Wait, sorry, back up. Can you say that again? What happened again? Just say the
There was a
punchline.
fire. There was a small fire.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically what happened was a fire detector like had an electrical failure and like started like initially just smoking into the ceiling, and that's how it was first reported. Was a resident had pressed their button and said there's smoke coming out of our vent, and unfortunately it wasn't taken very seriously at first. It was put kind of low priority, and it wasn't until that resident left their room and was knocking on their neighbor's room and saying, hey, what's going on, kind of thing. Eventually they discovered the fire, and I was the one on the phone with 911 because that was just kind of my specialty. Everybody was like, tell Josh to call 911 kind of thing. I guess just because maybe it's because I talk fast. Honestly, it makes the most sense, and I know what they're going to say. But anyway,
Right.
So they go and they realize that it's actual fire. They start evacuating all the rooms, and they get the fire extinguisher. But they don't really know what to do with it because, again, at this point, there's not actually any flames. It's just a whole lot of smoke coming from this one resident's ceiling and now the area around the fire detector. So they're just spraying it all over the ceiling, all over into the vent, everywhere and stuff like that. And so eventually they get everybody out, and so everybody is ordered by the dispatch to evacuate the building because there's nobody else in danger. And the fire department get there. They handle the fire that does actually like break out as people are leaving with flames and stuff like that. And so the problem was they sprayed so much fire extinguishing chemical, whatever it is, into the vent that they actually had to remove both of those residents from their rooms to redo the whole ceiling because it had leached out of the vents from the damaged ducting and stuff like that. And so something that would have cost like maybe $1,000 to replace the fire detector ended up costing like $10,000 in ceiling repair. And I just thought that was funny because maybe it's because I guess the reason I do well in those kind of situations is I don't freak out in those kind of things. You know, I recognize there was only a couple people in not really immediate danger, and just kind of went on with it. But it was just like, kind of a spectacle for everybody. It was just something interesting happening because.
But like, didn't the fire department realize that they were messing up? Like, didn't they understand that they were?
No, the fire department wasn't there until later. This was
who sprayed it? Who sprayed that then?
One of the employees grabbed the
oh.
But they, with nothing to point it at, you know, they say, you know, we're instructed to point at the base of the fire and sweep right and left. Well, there's no fire yet. There's just smoke. And I wasn't telling them from the time the operator to do it at all. I wasn't even near the building at that point. I was sitting with the resident that we'd evacuated to make sure they were safe. I don't know. Maybe that's not as funny as to everybody else as me, but just the whole idea of like overly freaking out over just some smoke from the ceiling, and all the people that were gathered around. It was like the residents, of course, in their nightgowns and stuff, because this was pretty late in the evening for them. This was like after dinner, so plenty of people go to bed right after dinner, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, there should have been maybe someone like an expert to call. Let's see, Vegas has not been pawing at my door, Joer, but I do have to use the washroom, so once I go to use the washroom, he might end up coming in, Joer. Thank you for the bits, though. Do me a favor, Autist. Just keep the chat company for a minute as I just go to use the washroom.
Sure.
And I will be back, and we have a couple other people waiting in the queue after I come back, but before I bring anyone new in, I'm going to grab another beer, use the washroom, so hang tight, guys. BRB.
I got it. Hello, chat. Any questions? Between Walmart, the courthouse, and the retirement home? I guess I could talk about this because it's kind of short. In the short time I worked at the courthouse, I actually got called for jury duty 3 separate times. And the problem with that is you can get called for the jury pool, but you can't legally be selected as a juror because I sit at the computers that have direct access to all the confidential information. That normally I'd only be pulling up to assist somebody with something, but they have no way to monitor or stop you from doing that kind of thing. So I had to go to jury duty because it would look pretty bad to not show up to jury duty when you worked at the courthouse. And as it turns out, I didn't get picked all 3 times. And it was really annoying because all 3 cases sounded pretty interesting. Even though I can't talk about what they were, I don't know what their outcomes were or anything like that. But yeah, if they basically, if anybody says that the jury system isn't rigged, ask somebody that's worked at a courthouse because getting pulled 3 times in 4 years is wild. I mean, it wasn't too bad. You got to sit in pretty nice chairs, and they had a coffee machine, and because I worked there, I couldn't go into the employee areas, but I could wave at my coworkers, make funny faces at them through the window because I wasn't on the clock. That was also probably the biggest benefit too, is you got a full day's pay instead of the normal compensation for everybody else, which is about $15. You only have to go if you sign up to vote. That's not actually correct, at least in the state of Florida. It's just getting any kind of ID or driver's license. But yes, the point is that they will say it's randomly generated and entirely impartial and things like that, and that is a lie because since I've no longer worked there, I haven't been called for jury duty except one time over like the 8 years it's been. Oh yeah, they're super duper uncomfortable. They really need to put a cushion or something on them. I get it that it's like tradition and stuff like that too, but nobody's gonna, Yeah, I agree. They do. For all the amenities we get in the offices and in like the cafe and stuff in the courthouse, because this was like the main courthouse of the whole county, which was a pretty large county for the area. It's pretty nice. It was my lunch breaks went pretty well if I didn't bring anything. Normally I quick out of work, but 2 of the 3 times I was called, I stayed longer than I would have just doing my whole shift. The first time I got called, I was actually at the courthouse for 13 hours from the opening of jury duty, which is before I would usually come in, until past midnight that night, simply because it took that long to select jurors. It wasn't like all of the jurors were there. We were a very small subset, and I was very annoyed to be in that small subset past midnight. But what was I going to do? I had to go back in there to work the next day. I couldn't cause a fuss. It's an interesting, environment to be in the process, and like hearing all the Latin and the same questions repeated in the same way to everybody, and all that stuff. So it is very interesting. Obviously people can't really volunteer for it or stuff like that. But I mean, we do occasionally have people coming into the courthouse, saying, "Is there any way I can volunteer or put my name forward? I would like to. I've never served on jury duty. I would like to." And obviously, we can't. I wasn't working with the jury coordinator, but that would obviously not probably make for a good jury. It'd be like, "Yeah, these are all the ones that really wanted to be a juror, like really soon." Yeah, I mean, yeah. It really doesn't matter what kind of trial it is because the purpose of the jury is to like give an entirely impartial opinion and consensus. But yeah, it would have been nice. Like I said, the cases are pretty interesting. They seem really like, when I say interesting, it wasn't like it was some evil mastermind coming up with a plan. It was much more of it was nuanced, and I couldn't immediately tell if I thought the person was guilty or innocent.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
Welcome
I
back.
used the washroom. I grabbed a beer, and I grabbed some of that Chinese dessert that I made. It's like a soup with goji berries, longans, red dates. Hi, first time chatter. Welcome in. Red dates,
cool.
lotus seeds. Oh, you're very observant, first time chatter. Chestnuts. There's chestnuts in there. Lotus seeds, all the good stuff. All right, so yes, chestnuts. There's some chestnuts. I'll show you guys the goods. I promise it's delish. It's like a hot soup. Doesn't look the best, but it's delish. It really is. Anyways, Autist, thank you so much for keeping them company.
You're welcome. I took the time to talk about how, while working at the courthouse, I was very frequently selected for the jury pool, but could never get picked because I had access to the systems and stuff like that, and it was upsetting me because I was really interested in some of the cases they were putting up.
All right. Thank you so much, Braxton, the man. Thank you for the follow. So, yes, that was Autist. We have a couple more people waiting backstage right now, but hold on, before we start anything, let me just have a bite of the soup. Okay, I learned this recipe when I was in China, and I had so many of these dried items to use up that I figured I might as well make it on my days off. A bite of the soup, Autist. Mm-hmm. This is just like it's like a dessert soup. It's made from like dried fruit. It's like this Chinese dessert soup situation happening. Welcome in. All right. Harris. Hello, Harris. All right, guys. Cheers. Is there a best job? Does that exist? I mean, it's all relative, right? But I feel like there's a best job for you, and if you have some favorite jobs that you've done, that's what we want to hear about. Okay. Hi, Digital. A little tardy to the party. Nice to see you. We're better late than never. I'm doing all right. Naz, how are you doing? Anyways, I brought another beer as well. We'll see. It's already after 11, so I don't know. We'll see after I'm done biting into my soup if I'm going to get into some Innocent Gun. But I have it here on deck, just in case I get thirsty for it. Okay, we have a couple people waiting backstage. Let's go ahead and bring them on. I think in order of arrival, let's bring on Wrinkly. Greetings and welcome in, Wrinkly.
Oh shit, you caught me at a pretty good time here.
Oh, well, I can always, there's someone else. If you need 5 minutes, I can bring someone else in and you can come back.
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
Well, okay, regardless. Welcome in, Wrinkly. Thank you for calling in. And tell us, what's your, let's start with your worst job ever, because I feel like that's what people want to
Well,
want to
I'll
hear
start
about.
with it right now. So, yeah, probably my worst experience ever is what just happened. We overcome it though.
The worst job ever. What's your worst job ever, Wrinkly? Worst job you've ever done.
Of all time? No, we got to start from the beginning, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to tell you about my Pizza Hut.
Tell me about your Pizza Hut. All right, let's get it.
I worked in a restaurant. Becca and I went there actually.
Okay.
Back in I don't know, August, September. Oh, it was way earlier than that. But yeah, I used to work there in college, and I was there for a while. Started dating the hottest chick there, as is tradition. With her first serious relationship ever. And then she fucks the 35-year-old general manager of the place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So little 22-year-old wrinkly, just brokenhearted, you know, just mad at the world. I'd say that's the worst experience I've had at a job, you know.
Thank you for the follow, Scorpion Kingdom. I wish I could say I could relate, Wrinkly, but I don't think I've ever been dating someone at my workplace and they end up effing the management. I can't say that's ever happened to me. Chat. Anything similar ever happened to you before? I don't think anything similar has happened to them as well. Okay, so how long did it take you to get over that, Wrinkly?
About 3 months.
3 months, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Good. I'm glad you're over
Yep.
it now then. So, Wrinkly, what's your best job you've ever done?
Best job I've ever done?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's too many. So here's like the theme I'm getting, you know. Everybody wants to specialize in one specific, you know, sector, right? I've done a little bit of everything. So, like, best job I've ever done, definitely when I worked in the ski industry still, out in Colorado. Yep. So I was working at Vail at the time.
You love the ski
And-
industry in Colorado. What mountain did you work on? Is that a weird question?
So the story that I'm going to tell, I was at Vail, like in the just central village of Vail.
Okay.
That's where the Surefoot store is there. It's like their flagship store. But so I was a sales manager, so I worked in Denver too. I didn't live in Vail. I lived in the Denver area. But I knew just enough Spanish. So like the internet went out, right? Something
Like
whatever.
the power went out, so the internet dropped? Okay.
No, the power didn't go out, but yeah, internet got fucked.
Okay.
I'm like the only person there who knows anything about the internet, apparently.
Typical. What would
It
we
could
do
be like
without
that
you, Wrinkly?
sometimes.
Go on.
But so like their whole point of sale system works on like DOS basically. Like it's all, you know, like the original like command line interface, you know, from 40 fucking years ago. Like so I guess yeah, like my favorite achievement there is so I could still track revenue and sales and shit without the internet. Like rebooted like all of the computers. And I knew just enough Spanish because like most of the customers there in Vail fly in from Mexico City
Really?
and they just scream at you in Spanish. It's
A
like
lot
that
of
rich-
Mexican city tourists come into Colorado? Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
I didn't
They
know
are
that.
Rich.
That's news
Yeah.
to me. Big, rich. Well, yeah. Is Mexico City still the largest city in the world? It used to be for a time, I remember.
Not gonna be in 4 fucking years.
Denver is a massive airport hub. One of the largest in the US. Yeah. I just didn't know a lot of Mexican people knew how to ski and were into that. Like, went into winter sports. You know what I mean? Maybe that's really, like,
No, there's a lot
naive of
money
me
in
to
Mexico
say,
City.
or...
Yeah. I didn't know it either. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
so that's an example of something I would be proud of. However, okay,
Right.
working the same job. So like the store manager at Denver, who's like technically like an equal, but he has like domain over the Denver store, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took time off for my brother's bachelor party. And then he called my brother's soon-to-be wife the N-word.
Oh.
And then I fought him. Yeah.
Not good.
So
Not a
then,
good
like-
day at the office.
Bad day at the office.
Instant fire. Did he get fired or just you?
I didn't come back.
Did he come back? I want to know. Or both of you didn't?
Yeah.
He did, eh?
No, yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
Not a good day at the office for sure. I mean, at that point, chat, when someone starts to disrespect your family or soon to be family member, I want to ask you guys, like, mano a mano here, okay? Do you suck it up for work and just take it?
Nope.
Or do you fight for your family, your integrity? Is it really that big of a deal? Okay? If someone disrespects, I usually won't fight, but I'll avoid the shit out of them. You're an avoider, Saturn. Yeah. Time to scrap.
Time to scrap is right, dude.
So I've
yeah.
never. We're going to do another stream about fighting, probably later in the week, actually. But I will say that I have two younger siblings, a younger sister and a younger brother. And when I was growing up, my father always told me, Anne, if you ever get in a fight defending your siblings, he said, I will, and you ever get suspended, if you ever get expelled or anything, if you're fighting for your siblings, if you're taking care of them, because I would always have to, walk them to the bus stop, make sure they get to the school and to their class, and then take them home, right? And so he said, if you ever get in trouble protecting them, I will not be mad at you. In fact, I will be proud of you for fighting like that. It was in my household, it was okay for Anne to scrap it out if it had to do with protecting my little brother and little sister. Pistols at dawn, motherfucker. There is no job worth compromising your principles. I agree. Hi, Cat Stevens. I agree with that, Atomic. We got another raid? What the heckaroonies? Hey, welcome in, Gibbs. Take me down like I'm a domino. Is a highlight. When we touch, don't ever let me go. Thank you for shouting out, Gibbs Saturn. I'm a domino. Gertie! Oh my god! Holy shitaroonies! Welcome in, Gibbs and Raiders. Welcome in to this lovely channel. Hope you get a gifted sub from the one, the only Gertie Girly. Let's go! I'm trying, girl. I know, girl, Gertie. I can see it.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go. And this is perfect timing, Gibbs.
There's no better timing. There really isn't.
There really is no better timing, Gibbs. Thank you so much for the raid. This is great timing. To announce, everyone, Gibbs, thank you for the follow. If you're not already following Admiral Gibbs, please go follow him. He is he's a political streamer. He has a lot of panels. I was lurking last night, actually. I was just watching, trying to do a little homework, Gibbs, so to speak. Trying to do a little homework because I'm going to be a judge on Admiral Gibbs' stream. I have it written down in my phone. It's next Wednesday, the 29th. Okay, so next Wednesday, the 29th at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, I will be over on Admiral Gibbs' stream. That's my day off. It's a Wednesday. But, oh, nice, Gertie. But tune in next Wednesday, the 29th, at the same time that I normally stream, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. And he'll be doing like a panel of, and I'm going to be a judge on the panel. So that's what's going on next week. Thank you so much, Admiral Gibbs, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Anne. We're doing Discord call-ins today. So exclamation Discord, hop into the Twitch stream queue, and the topic today is best or worst jobs that you've ever had. You know you've had them. We want to hear them. We want to hear it. Spill the tea. Hi, Rig. Can mods change the phone verification setting? Why?
Not right now.
Why would we want to do that, Rig? Why though? I don't get it. It's been working. It's been working.
Yeah.
If you're able to talk though, Rig. So, I don't get it. You're able to speak. Anyways.
No VoIP numbers in here, guy.
Oh, of your VIP doesn't have a phone. One of your VIPs doesn't have a phone. What? I don't get it. One of my VIPs? Who? Who doesn't have a phone? I don't understand what that means either. I'm so confused right now, Riggs. They're stuck in Discord. They need a mic. It has nothing to do with the Twitch verification settings. They need a microphone to talk in Discord.
Yeah. Gertie says,
VoIP me.
Fuck yeah.
This has nothing to do with the Twitch settings. This just has to
Gertie,
do with
I would
me and
VoIP
Mike.
you any fucking day of the week.
Hi, Queen Azaria. Welcome in. Yeah. Who? By the way, who doesn't have a mic? There's nothing we can do if you don't have a microphone. There's nothing you can do. You need a mic in order to come on the call-in. Yeah, a headset. You could use your headset as well. Hi, Void. Welcome in. So, well, Wrinkly, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate that. We have a couple other callers in the queue, so I'm going to get to the other callers, but thanks for telling about your worst and your best jobs you've ever done. Rock and roll. Thank you, Wrinkly, and we will see you in chat. Bye, Wrinkly. All right, let's bring in our next guest in order of arrival. Let's bring in Snap Daddy, aka Snapman. Hi, welcome in, Snap. By the way, Wrinkly, thank you for coming on. Snap, are you there? He's muted. No.
Hello?
Hi, Snap, welcome in.
It's my headphone, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
It
How are you?
cuts
Thank you
out
for
every now
calling
and then.
in, Snap.
Thank you, I'm pretty okay. Well, I've been okay and not okay, but sure. Doesn't matter.
Right. All right, Snap. Well,
Yes.
please tell us, what was the worst job that you've ever done? And
Worst
also, can you
job?
turn down the background volume of the stream, please?
Better?
Thank you so much.
Probably. My bad. Worst job. I would say working for a brewery that, sends out the drinks and stuff like that, and driving along with the truck driver to deliver goods at discos and stuff like that. Because I only worked there for 3 days, so that was an experience and a half. But it was so physically draining and not very healthy the way we needed to like drag stuff along and things like that. It was very bad for your back. So yeah, and the boss was an ass. So basically that.
So labor intensive, the bosses didn't give a shit about you.
Oh yeah,
and
exactly.
You were hurting yourself. It was, were you given breaks? Was the pay alright?
Pay was not all right. No, it was definitely not okay. That's why I only worked there for 3 days. I told them like, hey, we can figure this out, like make this more efficient and ergonomic. And it was like, no, this works and this is what we do, and I don't need your input. I was like, okay, bye. So I left because a boss that doesn't doesn't like
Value.
inputs or
Doesn't value you.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
I
if I
agree.
would be the boss in that situation, I would first of all, listen to someone that works for me, that delivers my goods, that makes me be able to pay them, etc. So if you can't do that, then it's done for me, basically.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Right.
that was the
Adm-
worst job.
Yeah, yeah. Admiral Gibbs says I had one job, was a very clear winner as a worst job, but I learned the most from that job. Sometimes you learn the most from your worst jobs, Gibbs. Right?
Yeah,
It's still
exactly.
it's very impactful. It's still a learning experience, good or bad. Right? It's still a learning experience. Then you learn never to fucking get in that situation and put yourself in that position ever again. Hi, Hawker. Welcome in. Nice to see
Hi,
you.
Hawker. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that. That's, in normal situations in life as well. You learn out of bad and good situations to not only build character, but maybe help out other people that are in that experience. And I think that's very important to, your own character building. But,
100%. If you don't try it, how are you going to know you don't like it?
exactly, and that's with everything in life, not only jobs or relationships, cars you don't like, maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Mhm.
But to be fair, I only had bad jobs so far. I had good jobs, but
Mm.
I worked for a company, a steel company that produced, not producing. It was like modifying steel and whatnot. And I worked there for 3 years. The
Okay.
pay was okay, but the boss was still an asshat. But
Mhm.
it was good in terms of like the colleagues I had, because I was fun. I was always like I always had a leader role in jobs that I did, and it was fun to you teach people stuff like that, and but the state that the warehouse was in terms of ergonomical stuff, it was so bad, and I got blamed for that, even though it looked like that in terms of how I came in, because everything was on the floor. You had to crawl over everything to get other stuff. You had to dig stuff out. It was a disaster. And I worked there for 3 years. Don't ask me how I did that, but I worked there for 3 years. And I got myself fired because I didn't want to, get my C4 in, or my because if I would fire myself, I probably wouldn't get like paid from the government to be out of a job, because that's how it works here in Belgium.
Oh, you
So,
wanted like your unemployment insurance.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Fuck you, dude! I'm gonna let myself fire," because it costs him more to do that than if I would fire
If
or
then to
take my
quit.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Fuck you, dude! You're gonna be looking at my head for the rest of the last 3 months or 2 months." I don't.
But that's also a misconception, at least in Canada. Like, if you take unemployment insurance, it doesn't cost your employer anything for that. It's no extra cost for them. You pay into that every week as an employee. So you have like a reserve that's built up, and you're just taking that money from there. Your employer, it doesn't cost them anything to do that.
Yeah, it works similar here. They have to pay in terms of paying your leave, if I believe. It's something in that sense, but eventually the state, pays you, and taxes pay you out. Basically, that's tax money and stuff like that, which I'm not really a fan of. But I only was like jobless or unemployed for what, a few months or something, like 2 months or something, and then started working somewhere else. And because I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna stay unemployed for the rest of my, last few months, because I was like, nah, that's not me. And you know me, I can't sit still anyway. So.
All right.
I don't know if you...
Sorry.
Go on.
No. You go.
Did you tell what your worst job was? Because
I did. Yeah, I
Oh,
did say
okay.
my worst job. So those were your worst jobs. What about your best job? Oh, Underworld, thank you for the bits. Welcome in, Underworld.
Bit hype. My best job?
It's
But
not
just
that compelling. Underworld. Thank you. Thank you, Underworld. See you later, Underworld. Thank you for stopping by.
bye. Thank you for stopping.
Yes,
My
so
best job? Huh.
one love,
I would
Wade. One love. Thank you for being here as well, Wade. So, alright, so your best job.
I would say
Snap.
the job that I do on the side, my photography, because I love creating art and stuff, and it gives me so much opportunity to not only express myself but express others, their character, their values, and so much more. I mean, people are so diverse that I don't think there's a lot of jobs out there that makes it able to share so much diversity in what you create or what you make or what you put out there. And it's all social media as well. So if you think about it, you're creating such a diverse network and thing or image about the world and how people look at it. You can look at it any way, or bad, good, or whatever. But I like that the fact that it's so diverse, and yeah, I don't know. It gives me kind of hope, I want to say, in terms of how people boost each other's confidence on that.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, girl, you look so good," or "Hey, dude, you look so good in this picture," and other people like this person actually editing pictures right now. She's like, "I don't really look that good in the pictures," and I was like, "Get out of here! You look great." She's like, "No, I look 40 and 28." I was like, "No, you're lying," and I showed like pictures of this shoot to people that I know. And so like, "Oh my god, she's gorgeous!" And I told her, "Oh my god, thank you." So she was super happy about that, and that makes me happy.
When you make other
Because
people happy.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's such a beautiful thing about like photography or capturing like moments in life.
Right.
And yeah, like I said, it's so diverse. I don't think you can compare it to a lot of other things or jobs out there that does this stuff. So yeah, I'm very very lucky, I want to say, to be able to do this, even though it's not my main job. I'm unemployed at the moment, but I want to grow further into my photography. But yeah, even though it's not always that easy, but yeah, like this client right now, it's getting on my nerve because I need to re-edit it, and the amount of money that I got and the amount of editing that I need to do is, in my opinion, not that well balanced. But on the other hand, these pictures would be covered in a magazine, and that makes me the opportunity to get paid and cover myself and a wider range of people that see this magazine. And it's a printed magazine as well, so $300 for being coverage for quote unquote free. That doesn't mean that it's not that bad, in my opinion. Then, so yeah, you have to take two sides, and yeah,
I get
exactly.
that. It is what it is. Perfect timing. It is what it is. Snap, thank you so much for calling in.
You're
Thanks,
so welcome, Anne.
and telling us about your best and your worst jobs. I'm going to let you go. We'll see you in chat. We have another caller waiting in the wings. So,
Okay, see you, Chad. Thank you so much for being here, Chad, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
thank
I'm going
you.
to sleep.
I am. Okay, good night. Good night. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Snap. All right, that was the Snap Man. Thank you for being here. Good night, Hawker. I hope you have a wonderful night as well, Hawker. All right, we have another guest that's waiting backstage to come on and tell us about their best or their worst job situations. We got a posture check. I didn't see it go off, Gertie. I think it's delayed. But yeah, I gotta get my shoulders back and all of that. Wade, for my posture check. How's my posture? Shoulders back and all of that jazz. All right. Ugh. All right. Next guest is X-Man. So, welcome in. Hi, X-Man.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for taking me.
No worries. So, X-Man, you waited patiently. It's your time to shine. Please tell us, what was your worst job that you've ever done?
Okay, so the worst job was, kind of innocent back in high school. I worked at a golf club, and all I was doing was just washing carts.
Oh,
But the turmoil, the problem came with the co-workers. I just couldn't get a good hang of working out with everybody.
how much, like, working with coworkers did you have to do washing the carts, though? Was it more of an independent thing?
No, I mean, we were all there. Everybody was given certain jobs. I was washing carts. Somebody else was running the range. Other people were in charge of the clubs and things like that. And then so we all had our little individual jobs that we were assigned, and now it's just part of a small group that kept the gears going.
So you had to work with this, like, highly intensive, labor-intensive job with a handful of people, and you just didn't get along with them. What? Do you mind me asking why you didn't get along? Like, what was the issue?
Okay, so I'll give you a couple examples. And then to give you a little backlog, my friend is the one that referred me to it. I took him up on the offer, and we got started. But then, little things like, for instance, they said, hey, the drinks at the club are available to you, water, soda, Gatorade, things like that. So one day I took my cup up there and tried to fill up on some soda, and they're like, no, you can't have any. You have to pay first, and then you can have it. But so it contradicted what they told me that, it's kind of free and then not free. So I didn't get along with the people at the club to begin with. And then I decided just to drink water from there on because I didn't want to have any issues with the people at the clubhouse.
I see. So you got off to a bad foot, the wrong
I
foot.
already got off to a bad foot just on the drinks alone.
Okay. And then, like, were they just not really? Were your coworkers lazy? Imagine, like, you had a job, chat, washing carts, and your coworkers were lazy and didn't, like, do their end of their work.
Yes.
So they were
And then
lazy. Yeah.
And then on another instance, one of the guys was pretty nice to me. We talked, we got along because we both liked the kung fu movies at the time. So he's like, "Hey, if you run the customers out to the cars and help them with the bags, they usually give you a few tips." I'm like, "All right, good. Thanks for showing me that." So I would hop on the back of carts, follow them out to the car, load them up, clean them up, and they would hand me a couple dollars for the tips. Then I come back, and one of the other guys, like, immediately gets on my case. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to work here. I'm trying to get my tips." I'm like, "You're taking the tips from me." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." But technically, the other guy showed me how to do it and told me I could do it. So I'm on my second bad step there.
Right. You just thought that there was so many bad strikes against you. But, like,
Yeah.
I always heard there's good tips working at a golf course. Maybe it depends on the golf course or the country club. Was it, like, how was the pay?
The pay was it was okay. It was like, high school, kid working there. So the pay was minimal, and then the little tips on the side and all that. But no, the guys who was there for a while longer than me, yeah, I guess I was stepping on their toes and taking some of the tips. I didn't know. I mean, I was sorry. I apologized immediately. I didn't take any more tips because, they depended on that for their wages.
I see. Okay. So you just didn't know the etiquette of the club, like.
No, I didn't know the etiquette, the hierarchy. But then again, like I said, the guy I was getting along with, he's the one that showed me how to do it and, kind of like pushed me to do it. But once I realized I was stepping on toes, I took a step back.
Right. Okay. How long? So you just worked there the summer one season, and that was it.
I think I lasted one season, and I think the final straw was that The golf club was pretty close to my high school, so at the time I had a high school girlfriend, and one day she stopped by to visit. One of the managers saw me do it, did not like it at all. I mean, the way he behaved, he acted like I committed atrocity on the grounds, and then we got to saying a few words, and I told him, listen, thank you, but I think today will be my last day. I think I need to walk away from this.
So Gertie says he thinks it's the industry and that they were bullying you.
I mean, yeah, I was the youngest person there. I did at the time pride myself with, being really easygoing, really easy on getting to know people, going with the vibe. If they did it this way, I molded in. If they went that way, I adjusted myself. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't get along with these guys. I just couldn't get the puzzle piece to fit, to work with them.
Right. You can only try for so long, and then eventually it's not worth it anymore. Just better to part your ways and just walk away. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And at the time, it was just a high school job. Washing golf carts, nothing serious, nothing vital. Easy to walk away from.
Okay. And your best job, X-Men?
All right. So my best job is actually the time that I spent in the Army, in which I joined a couple of months after high school. And I have to say, it was some of the best times, some of the scary times, sad times, but overall, some of the best years that I had in my life.
So how many years were you in the Army?
So long story short, I did 9 years total, U.S. Army.
Wow.
I went to basic training, I went to AIT, and then to rewind the clock a bit, I joined during the peak of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. So without knowing, with knowing what I got into, I was basically year on, year off until my time came to an end.
So you joined while there was an active war going on. So
Yes.
you were sent. How long before you were sent to Afghanistan? 1 year, and then 1 year of training, and then they sent you there. They deployed you.
Let me see. I went to basic training, then I went to AIT, which is like your job training. And then after that, I got to my first duty station. And I did luck out because when I got there, those guys had just gotten back from Iraq. So that means that they were a year off. So I had a whole year to hang around and get to know these guys before it's time to fire up again.
I see. And tell me, so it's not every day, X-Men, someone calls in and says their favorite job was going to war. But that's what's happening here. So please elaborate. Oh, we have a first-time chatter. It says best job in the Army is an airborne paratrooper. Hoorah!
I can relate to the person in chat as well.
Okay. By the way, what was your in the Army? What was your position?
I was a fuel specialist, so I work with fuel.
You worked with fuel. Okay. Okay. So you were you had to please pardon my ignorance, but I don't really know much about this stuff, but so you were a support for fueling up tanks and helicopters, and you basically had to get all of the equipment gassed up.
Yes, I went to the fuel school and all that, but then my first deployment there wasn't really a need for it. I just did quartermaster work, and I helped people get little establishments to stay in, like tent cities and things like that. So nothing serious my first deployment. But then after that, I did switch units, and then I went to an airborne unit. I'm sorry, I went to a unit associated with helicopters, and that's when the real work started. That's when I learned to refuel helicopters, and that became really in-depth, more job than anything else.
Gertie7 says thank you for your service. Girly says so fulfilling work though. Gertie7 fuels people up with ice cold beer. Yes, he does, and he does it well. So, and he says, "I love your support, guys. Much love, brother." Yeah. JD said that. Okay, so tell us what was your favorite times in the army? Like some favorite moments. You have 5 to 10 minutes left.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So in basic training, oh my god, it's like it's all fun. It's like little boy playground, you know. You get to learn to play the guns, learn to climb the ropes, do the road marches in the backpack. It was fun to me. Like it's exactly the reason I was drawn to the military in the first place. All the fun that you can have with.
Banhammer J? Is that 3 whole years? I thought 3 years is 36 months. I thought this is 36 months. I'm confused, Banhammer J. 38 months. Thank you, Banhammer. Welcome in, welcome in. I don't know why it's doing that for 38 months. That should be 36 months, no? Thank you for 38 months. The longest subscriber in the channel is here right now and just subbed more than 3 years. I know, so why is it doing that for 30? It should only do that on 36 months, like 12, 24, 36, not 38. I'll have to look into that, Banhammer, but regardless, welcome in. Thank you so much for 38 months, Banhammer J. All right, sorry to cut you off, X-Men. Go ahead.
No worries. And then the deployments happened, and that was year on, year off, and every deployment had its own crazy thing, you know. The first deployment was so routine, nothing going on, you know, in and out, piece of cake. Then the second deployment was during the surge, so that turned into a big 1.5-year deployment, and the days just flew on by because we were just so busy with work. And then my third and final deployment, that was Afghanistan. And that got a little bit more serious. That's when, you know, keep your head down, tighten up your belt, and like, you know, try to make it out alive in one piece. But, you know, with the good and the bad, you know, the whole experience overall, it's something I can never give up willingly.
I want to ask you, X-Men, and this might be getting too deep, too dark, too personal, in too short of a time, but did you see a lot of crazy things at war? Like when you say you were in active war, is it the same type of active war that people used to do back in like World War II in the trenches? Or was your perception of like active war... Oh, Gertie! Thank you for gifting a sub to Gertie! G2! G2! Power to the G2 people! I didn't even realize that Wade didn't have a sub. Thank you so much, Gertie, for gifting a sub to Wade. Power to the G2 people. Gertie squared! Forever! Forever! But yeah, so, X-Men, was it the type of active war that I'm envisioning here?
No. I would say that as far as a frontline soldier, you know, going on patrols and doing like that, no, I cannot take credit for that. Mine was more routine work, get this going, get that done and all that. But with that, you do see some stuff. You do see people getting stressed out. You do see people getting their rifles taken away because they become a danger to themselves or others. And then you do see the indirect fire. That's like, you know, the bad guys launching rockets at you that might hit you. You know, that kind of stuff. So, no. Am I completely PTSD out? No. There's guys who are far, far worse off than me. But you do see some stuff that stays with you, you know, the rest of your life.
You saw people get their weapon taken away because they were a danger to themselves and to others?
Yes, there was one particular person that I knew. He got very stressed out, and they had to take his weapon away, take the ammo away because he needed to be sent home. And there was a possibility that he might hurt himself or others.
Wow. You know, that's stuff that people never think about when they think about being deployed out to war. You know, it is... Sometimes people can't handle the pressure and the stress of it all, and they have to be dismantled and sent back. At that point, if you are sent back due to mental issues, are you automatically what's the word? Like excused from the army at that point, or do they just send you to therapy and then bring you back out to the site? How does that work?
I think it depends on the individual situation, but yeah, they would get sent back to the states where there's more availability of help and psychiatrists and people to talk to, and then it would be just based on individual whether or not they'd be discharged from the military, or there might be a chance for them to finish out their career and leave, and in a better manner.
But it would be like an honorable discharge. Just yeah.
Correct.
I see. So many join when they're young, and I totally see a lot of them having a tough time. Right. You never know how you're going to experience that type of situation until you just get out there and live it. Right? So some people do like doctors do amazing under pressure. Other people don't do so well under the pressure, So okay, so any other stories before we wrap up X-Men?
Just I would like to end on a positive note. That you gotta take the good and the bad. But the good was, basic training was fun. I got my eye surgery during my army time, so I got those glasses. Got them to put them away, and I went with LASIK surgery, and that was absolutely worth it.
20/20 vision.
Yes, it was absolutely worth it. Thank God I did it.
Nice.
I made great friends there. I still stay in contact with some of them through Facebook and IG. People that I were roommates with, bunked with. All those relationships some of them have not faded. They have lasted.
Mm-hmm.
I took vacation to Europe on the military's dime. I got a ticket over there, landed in Germany, went to 3 other countries, came back. It was a great time.
Ooh.
And then during the end of my time in the military, I had a daughter, and that was one of the main reasons I decided to step away from it. So there's always bad, but there's always good. I can always say that there was good things with my time.
For sure. So I like that you found the silver lining in even war. Even war, you found that silver lining and all of the good things from that. You are a glass half full type of guy versus a half glass empty. Discharge via cream pies. Well, in a go around way, in a roundabout way, wrinkly. Yes. So we do love the positivity here. So thank you so much for being positive and telling us about some of the jobs that you've done, and for having the guts to call in X-Men. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you very much for taking my call, and I enjoy watching your streams, and I hope to keep watching more.
Wonderful. All right, thank you, and we'll see you later in the chat and on the next stream.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Good night, X-Men. All right, thank you for all of the callers today. We had a lovely lineup of people. So that was nice. So I'll be taking tomorrow off. Okay, it was a super fun stream. I really had a great time. So taking tomorrow off, and I'll be back on Thursday at 8:30 Eastern with some more stories. Haven't decided what we're going to be talking about yet. Maybe fights. Some rootin' tootin'. Could be fist fights. Could be emotional fighting. I feel like everyone has a story when it comes to fighting. So before we go, I want to do this one thing before we go. Here we go. Thank you for everyone tonight for making this stream possible, and a special thank you to all of the callers. Really appreciate it. We had a lot of new follows today. All right. I don't want to go, but I have to go. We've got to go. I kicked everyone's butt, including my own. Ty, I would love to hear about it on Thursday, Ty. I have teeth marks on my hand from fights. Wade, I would love for you to call in on Thursday and tell us about fights. I feel like people have got some great stories. Thank you for all of the subs today as well. Gertie,